All right. Welcome, welcome, fellow travelers. Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Wolters World. And a little mimosa to all of you for this morning of chatting. Hey, Sarah B., good to see you. So let me know, is everything working? I started using this mic yesterday, so hopefully the audio is better because I know some people were having problems. So hopefully that will help. So on today's chat, we're going to talk about some of the new restrictions that are out there, what travel will probably look like, or what my theory is what travel may look like in the future, and some things we really have to think about if you want to go traveling in 2021 and also here in 2020, because there are ways you can still travel. We have actually done a 4-week trip in the Mountain West of the U.S. We've gone down to the southeast of the U.S., and we'll be doing trips down to Texas to see the one and only Mark Finley and his beautiful, amazing wife, Terry, and his two crazy kids, April and Carl. But we'll be down there. So there is still a chance to travel, and it's not a blanket, never go anywhere ever again. Hey, Anonymous, this is one thing I think is really important for people when you're looking at traveling again. You have to realize it's up to you. Okay, it's got to be you. Got to feel comfortable with it, because even if it is safe to travel again and it's okay and the numbers are low and all these things, that doesn't mean you're going to feel comfortable about traveling. So that's why I'm thinking it would be a good idea for you to realize is, hey, you know what? I don't feel comfortable. It's okay not to travel. Okay. And the thing is, we're going to be doing more videos. We've got a bunch more videos from the U.S. to come out, and we're putting out some videos from Europe as well, because we know some of our European fellow travelers are still getting a chance to go around. So we're going to be putting more European videos out starting in November. But we're going to get a lot of USA stuff out here now for the month of October. I know I'm putting together the mistakes that travelers make when they come to the U.S. Which has nothing to do with politics, which is kind of fun because that's in the don'ts video. Don't talk about them. But that will be there. That hopefully I might have it out tomorrow. I don't know because I want to make sure I get enough like representation of the U.S. throughout with the B-rolls, because I want to have stuff from Washington State, Washington D.C., Vermont, California, Illinois, all kinds of things just to get everything going, so I can actually really showcase the U.S. in that video. But we'll be doing that. But Jazz Hillick, thank you very much for the super chat. That is awesome. Thank you. Question is it okay to visit New York right now? Well, New York still has quite a few restrictions. So not the big thing is if you're going to go to any big city travels, realize there can be a real big cutback. Cheers, Rob. Hope you're doing well. Chris Bates, good to see you. Mo, always a pleasure. Sarah B, a pleasure. Now, but with New York City, what you have to realize is a lot of stuff's closed. A lot of restaurants are closed. They're not opening up again. Museums are closed. They're limited hours. So I think for New York or any big city, if you're going to go, you're going to need to do a lot of calling beforehand to see what's open, because time tickets are going to be a thing. So you got to get the time when you can go in and things like that. So that's one of the things you really have to think about. That's why most of our travels right now have been more like outdoorsy stuff. So we've gone to national parks, state parks, going to places like Wyoming and Idaho. It's just being outdoors is it's so beautiful there that we're focusing more on those. So like when we go down to Texas, we're going to be heading out. We're going to go through Arkansas. So we're probably going to hit Hot Springs. We might go by Branson and Lake of the Ozarks and things like that. We've been there those places before, but now we can actually make some videos on there. And so we're really focusing on more social distancing able locations. To do that. But the thing is funny is sometimes these socially distant places you think would be like national parks, actually, like we were in Yellowstone and Caleb was saying the other day, it's like, if we would have got COVID, it would have been at Yellowstone because with all the boardwalks and all the people there. So it is kind of an interesting thing. Yes, Mo, thank you very much for hitting the like button. Anybody that pops on, I do appreciate the likes. Thank you very much. And again, thank you very much, Jazz, for the super chat. I hope that helped you a little bit. Joseph Reynolds in St. Louis. Jocelyn is down there right now. She's actually going to be, that's why it says down here, it says Jocelyn's well, she's on a girls trip. They're actually going to the wineries outside of St. Louis. So they're there. They're having their 25th high school anniversary reunion, but the school's not having it. So they're having kind of their own, like just a few girls, like a few best friends from back in the day, having a social distancing little get together. So I'm happy for her because she's been stuck with us for way too long with even the dog's a guy, and so she's happy to get out. And yes, Anonymous, my name is Mark. Yeah, my name is Mark Wolters. That's why I always say in the beginning of the videos, hey there, fellow travelers, it's Mark from Wolters World. But it's okay. I'm so used to it now. It's hilarious. Actually, a friend of mine we got to do a New Orleans guys trip in January, in the beginning of end of January, beginning of February, and we were going, and of course when you're with your friends, this person goes, "Hey, are you Walter?" And I'm like, "Yeah, hi, how are you?" And so we talked about travel and stuff. She said, "I love your videos," and they walked up, and then seriously, every time I talk to my friends, it's always like, "Hey, Walter." Making fun, but it's all good. I don't mind. Believe me, like I tell people all the time, I've been called much worse. Remember, I teach college students, and sometimes they get very vindictive when they don't do their work, but it's my fault. So there is that. Let's see. We've got some questions coming in. Sarah B, Mexico, January, February. So Mexico right now, you don't have to quarantine, so that is possible. Then Serbia, Macedonia, Albania, February, April. Yeah, they also see that's the thing. Sarah's actually doing some trips where if you look at places that will allow Americans to go, these are all places that are allowing Americans in. And so that's one thing you have to think about. But one thing I'll say is wherever you're going to think about traveling, always stay up to date on what requirements are needed because sometimes things change. Like Ireland has shut stuff down again. Wales has shut stuff down again. So you got to be careful where you're going to go and always be up to date. CNN's done a good job with listing of places we can go and restrictions by country. I've been using their site for a lot of things. But it's not like you can't travel anymore because there's plenty of destinations you can, and most of it's going to be local. I know some places, though, they can't even go out 5 kilometers from their house. So sometimes it's more like we need to plan about stuff. But yeah, Sarah, that's one thing. Because we were actually looking. So if you look, Sarah, if you go to Gabriel Traveler, he's a really nice guy like Gabe. Gabe is all about cheap travel, go wherever you can. And it's him walking the town and showing you all kinds of stuff. He's a good dude. And he actually did that. He flew to Serbia because he could get there. And he went to Croatia. He's down his videos are from Turkey. I don't know where he is now, but his videos are in Turkey lately. But there are ways to do that. Carlos in Colombia. I wish we were there. Colombia was one of the trips that COVID killed. So you're back in the pile of places we want to go that we got to get stuff to her. Daryl Slaint, my friend. Good morning. Yeah, so Rose is saying New York City is not really a good time to go now. It's still experiencing the pandemic, yeah. It's the big cities I really don't recommend too much. Scott Neal, thanks for keeping up the content positive attitude on Travel Channel. Can't be easy in this travel black hole we're in. Yeah, I agree. It is tough. I know when we went and traveled, when we started traveling, we did our 4-week trip out to the West. The first week or so, first 10 days, trying to film videos was tough. I'm like, my heart wasn't there. Like I had the stuff I wanted to say. Like if you watch the 10 shocks in Nebraska, you can tell I hadn't made a travel video for like 6 or 7 months. That wasn't like a quarantine thing, And so it was like it took me a little bit. And then once we got through like halfway through Wyoming, we got to, I would say after the Jackson Hole video, it's like okay, I started getting back in my groove. So that was kind of fun. Yeah, Rose, upstate New York is beautiful. Rose is saying if you're looking to go to New York, go to the state. Going upstate's nice. Oh, ATW spotter. Hey, good to see you at O'Hare right now. It's popping in American's terminal. Excuse me, but I still feel safe keeping my distance. Yeah, and that's the thing. Still feel safe. I mean, the thing is airlines are doing their best because they know that we got to stay in business. We got to make sure it's a safe environment for everybody, and so they're doing everything they can. The air filters, the HEPA air filters that are in planes. You're like I tell you, like probably the air on your airplane is cleaner than the air in your house because how often do you change? Remember, you're supposed to change. For all those who haven't done this, because I made that mistake, every 6 months you need to change that filter in your HVAC, right? So maybe after you finish watching this live feed, go pick up your new filter, put it in for the winter, okay? So you have that. Oh, Donnie from Chiapas. My dad used to work down there back in the day. Love it. So, Donnie, I have not been to Colombia. We were supposed to go down there. We were going to be doing Caracas. No, not Caracas, it's Venezuela. Sorry. It was Medellin, Bogota, and where we're flying into. We were supposed to fly into the north. And that trip got canceled. My brain isn't working this morning. I need a drink. Oh, Matt was just at Glacier National Park. Yeah, that is beautiful. Yes, Heading Tax 26. We did visit Crazy Horse. For those who don't know, Crazy Horse is the largest stone monument in the world. I believe it will be when it's finished. Then they're working on it. It won't be done for quite some time. But what's cool is it's not necessarily the whole statue. That's cool. What's cool is the museum that's in there talks about Native American history in the U.S. and in the region, but also they have interpreters and they have people come and do talks every day. Like you go and there'll be musicians, there'll be lecturers, there'll be people talking about their like growing up in Native American culture. I mean, I thought it was a great experience. I mean, it was really, really good. So if you get a chance, do that. Let's see. Yeah, no, we don't talk. We don't talk politics on here. This is the Travel Channel. Let's see. So someone said, "Oh, Graham says I booked a Hawaii trip yesterday. Hope they stay open. I hope so too. It really depends because you might see that you have we have like the rolling court war like rolling lockdowns where it's like 2 weeks you can't go, then it opens up back again. That's why it's really tough to know what's going to work and where you can go. That's why being flexible. And the thing is, even if you can go travel places right now, what you need to realize is everywhere you go, you got to be flexible with what you want to do because things may change like that. Okay. So it's like, I might have like, I want to go to DC and I want to go see the National Mall. I want to go see this museum that's open. I want to do this. You might have to switch your days around or have multiple alternatives to do that. I know Rob from TripHacks DC, we just filmed a podcast that's going to come out probably next week, talking about what it's like going to cities during this. So that'll be something to check out. So go to TripHacks DC podcast. It'll be on there. Let's see. But he also puts it on YouTube, on his YouTube podcast, YouTube channel. So Anatoly says, "Hey Mark, I'm watching from Queens, New York City right now. Now it's probably the best time to come to the city, especially while it's not packed as usual before all comes back." Yeah, that's one of the things is a lot of our. This is one we actually discussed this with Rob and TripHacks DC. Is if you live in some of these big cities where tourists are not there right now, now is your chance to really enjoy your city without a ton of people there. I mean, going to the National Mall and it's empty. I know Rob and I were talking. Everyone's going out to Shenandoah, National Forest, and he's like, "Look, there's nobody on the National Mall. You can actually see everything by yourself." This is really a nice chance to we see that. I mean, that's one thing I wish we were in a big city so that was something we could do every day. Like, look, now we can go to the Met. Now we can go to the Natural History Museum and really see it without 900 million people on top of us. So there is that. Jennifer in Boston, good to see you. Hey, Paul. Yeah, it's morning for me, buddy. Can't you tell? So yeah, I'm drinking my bubbly wine infused orange juice. I need to get my vitamins. Let's see. Yeah, coastal North Carolina girl. Yeah, Angel, you're in a beautiful part of the country. Honestly, a lot of times people, when they come to the U.S., I mean, I know right now no one's really thinking of coming to the U.S. because you can't. But coastal North Carolina, especially like the Outer Banks, is gorgeous. Beautiful beaches, cute little towns, duck donuts, definitely get that, barbecue. I mean, North Carolina is one of those states that has really, I mean, it's one of the ones you're jealous of because they've got beautiful coastline, they've got beautiful like mountain areas, you got some really cool cities and towns to visit. And Charlotte's a pseudo hub for American, so you have some flights there too. So it's a really nice little place to go to. You go to Asheville, really good beer there, and see the Biltmore. Really nice place. K&P in Tampa. What's up? My sister-in-law lives down there and her family. Let's see. Rose, you can't even use the bathroom in New York City. You wouldn't want to use the bathroom in New York City anyway. So that's one thing that hasn't changed too much. Grace, what are your tips for staying so happy and positive? Look, it's another day. We're out. I get to sit here and have really cheap bubbly stuff and pour it in a glass. Pour some orange juice in it to get my vitamins for the day. And I get to sit in here and chat with other fellow travelers. Hey, that's easy to stay positive. And I know it's really tough. Actually, I was interviewed yesterday by the student paper at the University of Illinois, and they actually were talking like, what advice do you have for students that are stuck at home, depressed, and not sure what to do? And one thing is you got to realize is we're going to get through this. We're all going to get through this. I mean, we're 7 months in. We're here. Okay, and we got through the 7 months. We got through the toughest times. We're going to get through it together. You focus on the positive things out there and realize it's another day to enjoy the world and enjoy the people you love. So there is that. Yogesh, hey, how are you doing? Thank you. I'm glad you love the videos. It's very nice. Tim asks, how do I combine travel with work? So my work. So I'm a university professor in my day job. And so I have the university holidays, though I don't have spring break next year. That's been canceled because students would go crazy, and you know how it is. Excuse me, but like all the school holidays, we go and we travel. Vitamins, that's right, hitting text 26. And so whenever there's a possibility of travel, we go. And so like the kids have their school holidays and we have our school holidays, and since I live in a university town, they kind of line them up. So we kind of do those together. So it's nice. And a lot of times, like sometimes, the last few years I've done courses with other universities, like the Wirtschaftsuniversität Wien, the University of Vienna, and I'll go there and teach. So that gives me some opportunities as well. I've taught in China, lots of other places. So there's a lot of really cool things to do. Scott Holdhouse, I love it. Mark, Saturday morning mimosas. Ha! Me? Saturday night sketches. I'll be there tonight with the scotch. Don't you worry, my friend. But we won't be having a live feed tonight. We'll just be here this morning. Let's see. So Washington D.C. Coaster fan. The problem with Williamsburg. For those who know, historic Williamsburg is out like south of D.C. and it's basically all the historic buildings from way back in the day. And they have all these interpreters that talk about what it was like. So it's really good for learning about U.S. history in the 1700s. And I really enjoy going there. We actually took our kids, and one of the things is Washington, D.C. Coaster fan says kids may get a bit bored, and they'll get really hot because it gets really hot in the summer. But what's nearby is Busch Gardens, so there's an amusement park there. And I know some things aren't open now, but like for future reference, there are things to do. So it's one of those kids, we're going to go learn something today, and then if you're good, tomorrow we go to the amusement park. And I think that's one of the key things when you're traveling with kids is you can't let them dictate everything, but you can't dictate everything either. So you need to have a nice balance. That's why we always suggest get your kids involved with the destination you're going to go to. So if they say, oh, I want to go to that museum, well, then it's not you choosing a museum, it's them. Oh, this is your museum. So like we were in Bozeman, Montana. If you ever get to Bozeman, is gorgeous. Montana is gorgeous. I want to go back like that. Like if their winters weren't worse than here, I would move there. Okay. But Bozeman has the Museum of the Rockies, which is an incredible museum, like one of the best, like the paleontology stuff there, the dinosaur bones. I mean, they have Triceratops heads, skulls, but from like baby Triceratops to old man Triceratops, like 15 of them going. Tyrannosaurus Rex, they've got about 10 of them, and it goes from baby Tyrannosaurus Rex up to a full adult. And I'm like, wow. I mean, it was so cool. And Liam was just like so into it when we were there, and it's a really great museum. And so like that was like his museum. So he's got a picture outside, ha ha ha. And you do that with your kids, and therefore it becomes something they own. And when they own it, it's okay. It's like my 14-year-old. He wanted to have friends over. I'm like, well, what happens if you sneak out? Well, you don't want you sneaking out. It's like, we won't. I'm like, no. You pick the punishment. And it's just like, we sneak out. I'll lose my phone. I'll use my Xbox for a month. I'm like, all right. So you pick the punishment. So then they can't complain. I mean, they will still complain, of course, but you kind of do those things. Lisa Carter in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Where'd you go? Oh no, I just jumped and lost you. Where'd she go? Anonymous, no, I didn't retire early. I still work. Hola, Carlos. Let's see. Fortune City, another fellow non-traveler. Yeah, but we'll get back out there. Don't you worry. Thought you worked. I didn't. Oh, actually, well, years and years ago, I was an assistant to. I worked with financial advising, but I didn't like sit in the suit all day and sit behind a desk. So wanted to get out more. So Oblivefi, say that 10 times fast. Does Jocelyn work a flexible job to enable you to travel during the holiday times? Find it hard to get away as timed group without burning all the mandated time. Yeah, no. So Jocelyn is the queen of the Wolters house, and she actually has her own channel. If you go to Simply Jocelyn, she just hit 2,000 subscribers today. So congratulations to Jocelyn. And so she has her own channel. She does cooking stuff and food. She does drink every Friday. Also, all of our new food videos going forward, like what to eat in Wyoming, what to eat in Illinois or whatever, or what to eat in Italy, that's all going to show up on her channel because the algorithm stuff with YouTube just likes to send people our don'ts of Europe videos, the ones that always get sent out, and everything else kind of dies. So we think the food videos are important, so we're putting that on her channel to make it more of a food kind of thing. So there is that. Anonymous, which states have the most beautiful houses? It's not states that have beautiful houses. There's towns that have them. And they can be anywhere, to be honest. Let's see. Dusan, hey Wolters, have you ever visited Serbia? And if you haven't, what place do you want to see besides Belgrade? So we were going this summer, and basically the idea was to bus it all around the country and kind of use that as a base. Like, I think it was, how many have we planned? Was it 2 weeks? I think we had 2 weeks in Serbia, and it was kind of like we were going to hit all kinds of places. Because I'll be honest, of all the places we haven't traveled to and don't have videos from, the three that we get the most requests for are 1, India, 2, Israel, 3, Serbia. Those are the 3 ones. And Israel, we were supposed to go to last year, and this year they both got canceled. The pandemic got this last time. Serbia, pandemic got that one canceled. India, we're waiting to do that one. I don't know. The original plan was like 2022, but now everything's kind of up in the air, so there is that. Let's see. Yeah, Montana is rather chilly. Passport 2, hello. How are you? Good to see you all. Gui, good to have you back. Yeah, Lisa Cardi, I speak a little Portuguese, and I've got my most important hat in Brazil. Tricolore. That's the Sao Paulo Football Club. Sao Paulo soccer team. So, hey, Tanya from Australia. Good to see you. So, Tanya from Australia. So, you think Las Vegas will be good to go in October next year? Yeah. Well, Vegas is already working. Like, Vegas is already doing stuff. If you are friends at Turn It Up World, here, I'll type it in. Turn It Up World. Tanya and Dave, they go to Vegas all the time, and they've got tons of videos. Like, they go there for the opening of this, and they go there, here's the hotels, and they do all kinds of live stuff from there. So if you're up at about 11 o'clock at night on random nights, or New York time, 11 o'clock then, or Australia, God, I have no idea what time would be where you are. But they'll go live and they'll show you what it's like there. I mean, and they're super wonderful people. Actually, we're trying to set it up so we can actually go to Vegas with them in January, February. So we'll have more information then. But yeah, no, Vegas is, dude, they're up and running. So assuming you live in Champaign, what airport? We actually use the Central Illinois Regional Airport in Bloomington, Illinois, because Delta flies out of there, and we are Delta people. Let's see. Dean Nagara, I have not been to Kuala Lumpur, so I cannot give you any help there. I'm sorry. Anonymous says, Jocelyn's channel looks great. It is. It's fun stuff. Today she has a video on tips for taking your kids to national parks. Yesterday was a drink video. Actually, to make sure I was making my mimosa right, I just did mimosa Simply Jocelyn, and right there. Though I don't have the cool glass she had there, because Jocelyn's gone this weekend, she apparently hid all these. We have 2 champagne flutes from our wedding, and they're not up there, so I think she hid them from me. I don't know. You don't get to play with the nice stuff, Mark, when I'm away. I don't know. So it's funny. But yeah, please do go to Simply Jocelyn. She's awesome. Oh, Shake says Belgrade's really good for craft beer. Nice. I can appreciate that. Joseph Crane, what's the best and worst alcoholic drink you've ever had? The worst. I would say the worst alcohol experience was when a bar here on campus called Cam's, which is now moved, and now there's a new one, but they're trying to set the world record for most Jägermeister drank in one day, and I did my part, and it was not good. Like, I could not drink Jaeger so I was probably maybe underage at that time. I don't recall. And I didn't drink it again for probably until I was like 30. And I was like, I can't. And then I ate too much. I was in Germany, and I ate too much pork. And my buddy's like, no, you had this for a digestive. It's not a shot like you silly Americans do it. And I had a shot, and it actually helps with the digestion, especially with really fatty foods. But I like Unterberger better for that. The best? I like an old-fashioned. I like a Manhattan. Jocelyn's been doing a lot of because she made enough drink videos. We actually have drink videos through next April every Friday. She has a drink Friday, a new drink out there. And so we got to try a lot. And there's a lot really good ones out there. Milk Punch was good. Yeah, but my go-to is Jack and Ginger. I actually like Gentleman Jack and ginger ale, and that's kind of my go-to when I get on my planes with Delta. And what I do is I take the Delta the Biscoff cookies you get on your Delta flights. I take the Biscoff cookie and then I stir the Jack and Ginger and then eat the cookie. It's phenomenal. Highly recommend it. So it's nice. Oh, big jump there. Sorry. Coaster fan went to Israel in 2017. It was good. Nice cap. Thanks, Carlos. Obrigado, meu amigo. Gallivanti goes, are you bored with Jocelyn and gone? So she left yesterday. And so the boys were playing video games, and I got online and talked to my friends here. We did a live feed last night. just to do that. And then after that, the boys and I we're reading Black Hollow Lane. What's it called? It's like the Order of Black Hollow Lane, which is by Julia Noble, I think. I have to look up her name. But it was a good book. The kids are really interested, but I was like dying. I'm like, dude, it's like midnight. I cannot read anymore. We got like 2 chapters left. I'm like, but I bought the second book in the series already, and actually tweeted at the author because the kids loved it so much. She was very nice. So yeah, so we did that. So this morning I'm doing a live feed because we did other things yesterday, and I'm working on the mistakes travelers make when they come to the U.S. video. And I want to, but the thing is, I want to make sure I get tons of B-roll from all over the U.S., and so it's taking longer than I thought. So yesterday, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do a live feed in the morning because I want to spend some time with the boys. So I read with them, and then they'll be up here in a little bit. I actually already prepared Liam's breakfast. I got the toaster strudels waiting out for him, and the toaster where he can get to it. Though I'm sure he'll be like, Dad, I want a bowl of cereal, but whatever. But I'm just glad Jocelyn's having a good time. Yeah, Mo's saying not much to do. Shorter days don't help that much. Yeah, the shorter days really make it tough. Like with the boys, Caleb's like, I'm going outside to play. I'm like, it's dark out. I'm like, oh, it's 5:45. Yeah, okay, dude, go ahead. So Dusan, one says, if we're going to visit Serbia and Niš, I would want to show you around the city. Just put notification on YouTube story because I don't use Instagram. Sure. Yeah. I would think. So right now, for those of you who are thinking about traveling in the future, what it's going to be like, the new talk, there's different things that are going to happen. I'm going to guess next summer, things will be opened up again, but there will be restrictions. It might be you quarantine for a little bit, or you have to get tested or prove that you have negative tests, or you might have to test while you're there. I know the UK is talking about reducing their 2-week quarantine to a 1-week quarantine with testing. It's like test and release. So it's like fishing, catch and release. So they're gonna test you, make sure that when you're okay, you test negative, then you get to go travel. So I think you're going to see more of that, especially with the rise of rapid testing. Like I get tested twice a week at work, and I get tested usually around noon, and I have the results that evening. And there's like a little app on my phone that says you are granted permission to go into rooms or into buildings. I think you'll see some stuff like that. And there's probably going to be tracking software to make sure you actually stay where you're supposed to stay. Because a lot of people, like there's places where people didn't do the 2-week quarantine like they're supposed to, and there was spread there. So it's going to be important we all kind of follow the rules. But I think what you'll see is, instead of like the 10 countries in 2 weeks kind of stuff, you're going to be more focused on one country. So like for us, we talked to the boys, and we have a wedding in Italy next year, and I'm the best man. I have to sign the documents at the town hall and stuff. And it's Italy, and Italy now, they can have like 30 people at a wedding. And so you got the bridegroom, bride's parents, groom's mom. We're at 5. And then the bridegroom. So we're getting down there. But the thing is, we were talking to the kids, and they both want to go to Italy. And so I think what we'll end up doing is going to Italy, quarantining, however long we need to quarantine for. And then we're just going to stay in Italy. That'll be our trip for next summer, is just staying in Italy the whole time. So we'll have tons of Italy stuff. But if we can travel around countries that have slightly less restrictions, like Serbia and stuff like that, that might be something. If we can travel more, I'm going to guess we will stay and go from Italy down to Greece, but we'll go over land. So then we'll hit, we'll be in Serbia, Macedonia, Albania, things like that, going down that way, just to kind of stay in one region instead of getting around again. Daryl asks, when will the Wolters fly again? So we've been doing road trips lately, so we haven't flown, but I know I've been talking to a friend of mine. We're going to start doing some flight trips, I think in January. I know that. I think we're going to go down to Savannah. And then probably, it depends how the kids' school goes and how my school goes, if I'm online or not. We're looking at flying out to Seattle and then doing a road trip from Seattle down to San Diego, and then flying back. So there are some stuff out there. And the thing is, the airports, so they're busy. You still feel like they're doing their parts to keep things, social distancing and stuff like that. So I'm not too worried. Just make sure you take a lot of time and have patience and have grace for the people on the planes, and especially the people working for, like Delta and United, American. They're worried they're going to lose their jobs. Their companies might go under, and then, they're still trying to do a good job of keeping us safe. So that's why when you see those people getting in fights on the airplanes, you're like, come on, man. Grace McKenzie, what do you think of Columbus, Ohio? Thinking about moving there after graduating for a job. So Columbus, Ohio surprised me. There's some really beautiful neighborhoods around Columbus, and the people of Columbus, Ohio love Columbus, Ohio. So they have insane pride for Columbus, and so they really are gung ho about it. So everyone has such civic pride. I mean, it is a good place to live. It usually ranks relatively well in like larger cities in the U.S. and places to live. So yeah, I would have no problem living there. I mean, though I teach at the University of Illinois, and it's way better than Ohio State, of course. But yeah, Columbus is a great town. Traveling the world. Where's your don'ts of the Midwest? You put a video preview in February and it still isn't released. Is it underrated in my region? So that one, the don'ts of the Midwest, I've been filming it around the Midwest, and then COVID came, and so we weren't traveling around the Midwest anymore. So I have where do I have it filmed? There's some in Missouri. There's some in Illinois. Where else did I film it? I think there's some in Indiana maybe, but I still have more I have to do, so I still have to travel more. It's a lot of those things got kind of when COVID came. So, Bim, I have not been to the Philippines, but we will get there eventually. I know that. One of the churches we go to, they do a yearly like volunteer in Philippines, so I might go with them. Obviously not this summer, but maybe next year or the year after. We'll see, because I don't know when they're going to go again. Scott Neal, Berlin will be our first trip. Cheap, close, and familiar. That's right. That's true. It all counts. It's going to be Francis. Hey, Francis. Good to see you this morning. Italy as well. Oh, Aaron Williams. I've been in Israel 4 times. Lucky dog. New Zealand 7 times. Dang it. Scotland 5 times. London maybe 5 times. Canada twice. Germany. Nice. Nice travels, Aaron. I like that. Chris Bates. I went to a great sushi restaurant in Columbus, Ohio. Very surprising. Also, we were in Columbus summer 2018. Some really good barbecue places there, too. I mean, Columbus, I remember we were driving around the neighborhood we were in. I'm like, my God, this is really nice. And it wasn't like the fancy, nice neighborhood. It was just like a nice middle-class neighborhood. I'm like, this is nice. Like, you can tell people care about their neighborhoods. I mean, getting around was kind of a pain because I think the city has grown more than they expected. But it's grown for good reasons. So I can't say anything really bad about it. Hey, Lori Sims. Good to see you. Turn it up, world. 2 days in a row. Love you. You grabbed my latte while you grabbed a mimosa. So for those of you I was talking about with Las Vegas and stuff, Turn It Up World, that is, if she's showing up here, Tanya and Dave, seriously, they will help you out with anything you want to know about Vegas. They actually have special groups just for people that want to enjoy Vegas. Definitely check them out. Wonderful people. I don't know why they don't have 1 million subs, because you think I'm positive. Man, they were like next level positive and love and so awesome with each other. So, well, hopefully they're in love. They seem like it. I don't know. But they're really nice people, so definitely check them out if you're looking at Vegas. And they have stuff from all over, but there was a lot of stuff they did there because their live stuff from Vegas. That's what I started doing, like I told you before. Their evening live feeds when they go to Vegas, you can see what's going on there. So like, what's it like there? Well, it's like the weather cam when you watch on TV. They have like, it's the Vegas cam tonight, so it's really nice. Dog Soldier SC. Hey, it's Walter from Mark's World. I'm gonna have to do something about that. That is awesome. I gotta remember that one. Because y'all were talking about that above, and I didn't make a comment about it before, but that's funny. So Colin Ritchie, hey, what's U of I doing for their students' spring break? My girlfriend's school just canceled theirs. So Colin, U of I just announced they're canceling spring break too. So what they're doing is they're eliminating spring break week. We're starting the semester a week later, and then they have like 3 or 4 random days in the semester where we have off. And I'm like, it's not really off because it's not like your professor is going to not give you homework, So, but I understand why they do that. One, because I know when the university I'm at, we had a big spike a couple weeks after students came back, just because that's what you're going to have. And they know that, look, we're going to have a spike when students come back in January. So they're actually giving students an extra week to come back. So maybe we can regulate how the new spike and do that. And then I can totally understand why they cancel spring break, because students going all over the world and traveling and doing stuff, then coming back, a really big chance of lots of spread. So they're eliminating the chance from spread. So I completely understand. It sucks, but I understand. Luca in Italia. Ciao, amico. Was supposed to be going to Philippines in April to May this year. Oh, I'm sorry, Aaron. Yeah, that sucks. Let's see. So Vito's asking, where will you be in Italy next year, if you can already say? So the wedding we're having is in Vicenza. That's why we do a lot of videos in Vicenza, which is funny. Actually, there's a big, huge U.S. base there, but I don't know anybody at that base. Like my friends are all Italians that live there, and so we always go and see them. And so one of them is getting married, and he's my best friend, one of my best friends. I mean, like, you know, have you like your best friends in the world? Like when you have your core best friends, he's one of my core best friends. Like, you know, we're tight. I mean, we almost got eaten by alligators together, so I think that's something special. We bonded over piranha fishing many years ago, and so we'll be in there. So if there's a like quarantine kind of stuff beforehand, we'll quarantine in Vicenza, then be there for the wedding, and then we'll probably end up spending. Looking at my ideas, like if there's a 2-week quarantine, I figure 2 weeks before the wedding we're quarantining. Then we got the wedding week because you know it's Italy, it's crazy, it's fun, and then we'll probably spend another 3 or 4 weeks travel around Italy. Probably going to do a lot in the south of Italy because we haven't taken the boys a lot to the south, so I want to show them some stuff down there. So let's see. Vic Lau. Hi, Walter. I watch you all the time. Well, thank you very much, Vic. I appreciate it. Yeah, Vic. So Yellow Productions. Chris from Yellow Productions is another good guy. He did a live with Turn It Up World. It was a good time. So Gallivanting Gaz was saying Indiana University, Purdue University at Indianapolis is going virtual from Thanksgiving break through exams. Same in spring from spring break. Oh, well, the University of Illinois, we're going. So Thanksgiving break, students go home and they're done. Like they're done. We have to do virtual classes the rest of the way. I'm already online, so it makes a difference to me. But it all goes online, so they do that. But U of I just eliminated spring break altogether. Jack, what are your favorite destinations in Asia? I live in Japan now. Well, that's one. You're already in one. That's awesome. I actually really like going to China. You got to be prepared for the number of people because if you ever think you're going to have any alone time in China, you're wrong because there's so many people there. It's always really, really full. So you kind of have to prepare yourself for that. It's like Japan. There's a lot of people all over the place. You have to prepare for that lack of space. If you prepare yourself for that, you have a good time. But you know, good ones. Everyone goes, you know, the Thailand, Cambodia, Laos trifecta. A lot of people do that. That's really nice. The culture in India is incredible. That's when I really like that. That's the thing was we don't have any videos from India because I want to go and spend a month or two in India with the kids to really see a lot because there's so much to see there. Excuse me. Otherwise, we'll end up only doing like 2 or 3 weeks and we'll just stay in one region. And India is so like the north of India versus the south of India. It's like 2 different places, you know. So you got to make sure you can do that. Let's see. Alyssa says her University of Kansas, a similar plan. We start spring term Feb 1, no spring break, continue with lots of online classes or hybrid, only about 20 classes. Yeah. Illinois is going to be about the same. See, Daniel's looking for some post-COVID trips to Vermont, Quebec. That is actually a really good road trip. Going like, because we've done it before. We went Quebec City, down to Vermont, then over to Montreal. It's really easy to do, and it's beautiful. Like, I highly recommend. Like, that's my favorite part. Like, I love Quebec. Quebec's my favorite part of Canada. It's a gorgeous country, super nice people. But I just love Quebec. So that is cool. Let's see. Lori Sims. I'm going to my parents' Marriott timeshare in Palm Desert this next weekend. Will be good to escape the house. And that's one of the things. So for those of you that cannot get, Leo's wearing his Andiamo shirt. Nice. Oh, hey, if you want to get some shirts, we have this one is now available. The British Wolters World shirt is now available on our woltersworld.store. All kinds of stuff, and with all the crazy stuff with mail going on, you might want to order your Christmas gifts early. So we have that. I know Jocelyn's working on a couple new shirts for the holidays as well, so we can have some fun stuff there. Because we want to give people, I mean, we had the same stuff for a while. We want to start getting some new things out to help people for travel or other things. So my go-to is the water bottle. We take that everywhere we go. The koozies, always have a fun time with that. Actually, we have masks that have the neck straps, and it was funny. So this lady, my father-in-law told me, I told the story last night, but my father-in-law had told some of his friends, and they bought the mask. And so this lady had had a knee operation, and she went to see her doctor. And she went to the doctor with her mask on, and the doctor stops and goes, "Where did you get that mask?" She's like, "Oh." And she tells a story about Wolters World and how she's friends with Wolters World's, father-in-law, blah, blah, blah. He's like, "Oh, cool." He's like, "That's my brother." So apparently my brother got to find out about the mask from one of his clients, one of his things. So my brother's a surgeon, so But he didn't tell me that he had a client that did that. So, because I'll give my brother's he's an excellent surgeon and he's a super professional. So I never know anything. He could be, operating my neighbor. He could be operating my wife, wouldn't tell. So good dude. Anyway, OG, good to have you back. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Does traveling to Cuba affect your eligibility to renew global entry? No, it does not. Not that I'm aware of. And if it was, I would think that would have come up a lot more on people's discussions because we were looking to go to Cuba, I don't know, 3 years ago. And then the administration changed requirements. So it was like taking kids became nearly impossible. And I'm like, I'm not dealing with this crap. We can go someplace else. And so we didn't get to go there. I think we ended up going to Jamaica. Yeah, this one went to Jamaica instead, which was awesome. Like Jamaica, huge Jamaica fan right here. Thomas Reiser, good morning, my friend. Chris Bates, love you, buddy. Good to see you again. Let's see. So hitting tax 26. So ever been to Pittsburgh? So for those of you who don't know, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, actually is one of the most livable cities in the U.S. Super powerful for people to go to. I've had a number of people go to Carnegie Mellon to get their PhD, and they loved living there. We have not been yet, but I made a list of 13 road trips we're looking to do if we can. Hey, Liam, I got some toaster strudel out for you if you want. So, you're welcome. I made a thing of 13 different U.S. road trips or U.S. connected trips we could do. And Pittsburgh is on the one where we would go up into Michigan, Traverse City, Mackinac Island, Detroit, then come down into Ohio, Toledo, because I want to then go into Sandusky because you got to go to Cedar Point, and then going across to Cleveland, then going to Pennsylvania, and basically going down all the way over to Philadelphia, coming back through Pittsburgh, and then doing like Columbus, Ohio, Indianapolis, and coming back that way. So it is definitely on our plans of places to go. Oh, South Glamorgan. Andrew's got a way cooler place than I do. Let's see. So France has been watching Gabe in Turkey, and I'm kind of addicted. Do you know anything about the south coast of Turkey, Mark? I see you can ride a pirate ship, so already appealing. Yeah, so my experience in Turkey, I was in North Cyprus, which is kind of controlled by Turkey. Gone through, but no, Turkey, right now there's some stuff going on with Turkey, but in general, Turkey's been a really good holiday destination for a long time, like for thousands of years. So they do stuff, good hospitality. So yeah, it'll be a good place to go. Gabe's having a good time. We're talking about Gabriel Traveler. He's traveling right now. He went to Serbia, Croatia. He's gone down to Turkey. So he's knows where he can go to travel during the pandemic. So it's something to check out. If you're interested in going to the UK, Means to Travel. Liz and Derek are two friends of ours. They're doing they're doing the UK, so they do the 2-week quarantine. We actually have an interview with them we put out last week that goes through some of the stuff they did to be able to do that, and it gives you a good talk about some things you should think about if you're going to go traveling. Also, we have a video on it's called like what you should know before you travel again, and we go through some of the stuff from our trips to see what's going on and how we've kind of handled all this travel. Andrew McGrath, Mark, have you been to Cardiff? I have, and Cardiff, sneaky good bar scene, sneaky good pub scene in Cardiff. I remember first time I went to Cardiff, and this is back in the day, but I remember walking around, I'm like, this is actually a cool town. Like, this is a fun place. I'm like, dude, these pubs are awesome. Like, Cardiff was, like, it was fun. And then, of course, then Doctor Who came there, and, like, even more reason to go. You had all the early season Doctor Who's that were filmed there. I'm sure some of the new ones are, too, like the latest few seasons. But, yeah, Cardiff, underrated. And the thing is, when you go to Wales, you don't really go to cities for Wales. Wales is more of an outdoor place, Snowdonia, Brecon Beacon, stuff like that. But for a cool city to go to, Cardiff, it's worth visiting for sure. Let's see. Scott Neal, what's the strangest thing you pack? Mine is tooth glue in case I lose a crown. I can glue it back in. Scott Neal's from Scotland in the UK. So apparently home dentistry is a big thing there. No, for me, what's the weird thing I pack? Well, Jocelyn packs a whole medicine cabinet of crazy stuff. So I won't count that. I think for me, what do I bring? Fingernail clippers. Because we go for like 6 weeks, your fingernails grow. You need to cut them like once a week, right? And so having those, that's a weird thing I always have. And so that's always what I have. It's funny. I have a video like 6 things I always pack. There's the fingernail clippers. There's a luggage lock, a deck of cards, usually Uno because we have the kids. So there's some things there. What's up, Chumby? Are you want my phone? Okay. Yes, Liam is tired. Boom. He is now commandeered the couch for the morning. Did you toast them again?
No, just once.
Just once? Okay. Did you already eat them?
No, I'm waiting for them
Oh, good call. Good call. So he did. See, I thought for sure he wouldn't want those after I put them out. So. Oh, Millie Nikki 152. I recommend Egypt, my favorite country to travel around. Slightly difficult, but so worth it. Yeah. So Egypt. So this summer, our plan, it was basically I was going to teach in Vienna, and then we were going to Italy, and then doing the former Yugoslavia, Serbia, Macedonia, going down into Greece, do that, go over to Turkey, and then we were going to go to Ethiopia. Well, at first we didn't know if we were going to Ethiopia or Egypt, and I've always wanted to go to Egypt forever, and I haven't gone yet, and Jocelyn's wanted to go to Ethiopia forever, so Jocelyn won. So Ethiopia was where we were supposed to go, and that got canceled because of COVID, so Egypt is definitely on the future. That's like my stuff. Like the place I really want to go, like if I can go anywhere and no questions, Israel and Egypt are the two top of my list. I'm like, I want to go now. And then it'll be New Zealand. So those are the three I'm like, I really want to go there. I know Jocelyn, it'll be Bhutan, Ethiopia, and then probably Vietnam or Thailand. I'm not sure. One of those two will be where she really wants to go. So those are places, spoilers, when we can travel again, now you know where some of the new stuff's going to go. Oh, Lori saw the Stones at the Rose Bowl. So I listened to the Stones in Portugal outside the sporting stadium because I was a student at the time, didn't have any money. So I just sat outside and listened to like 4 or 5 songs. They're pretty good. So let's see. So Passport 2 has a good question. Passport 2 asks, has there been any place people warned you about going to because of safety, but you went anyways and were surprised at how safe it felt that gets a bad rap? Yeah, pretty much all of Central America and South America. I mean, there are issues in Central and South America. I'm not going to lie about that, but there's issues everywhere. But like, we love Nicaragua. We had a good time in El Salvador. What else did you like, Liam? Costa Rica's not bad, but Japan. Oh, Japan. Liam liked Japan, but safety's not a really issue there. Brazil. I mean, Rio's got a really big problem. Sorry. Oh, Means to Travel's on. There we go. So hopefully, I want to see if we're still here. Are we still here, people? Yes, you can have mimosas with me any day, Liz. Still here? Good. Okay, so to celebrate that, because it just said I got disconnected and then reconnected. So I am going to pour. So I learned this. Make sure you pour at an angle into your glass so you can get to the drinking sooner and not have to wait for the fizzies to go away. I watched that by watching Simply Jocelyn, How to Make a Mimosa. So go to look up Mimosa Simply Jocelyn, and Jocelyn and her friend will teach you how to make these way better than I can. So there's that. But I want to say hi to Derek and Eliz from Means to Travel. Eliz and Derek, we were talking about you earlier about if people are looking to go to the UK. You have all your videos, especially if you go to Instagram at Means to Travel and at Mr.Means to Travel. And it's dot meaning like a period. Go and check them out. They have all kinds of stuff on their stories to really talk about things. Yes. Thank you, Chania. Refilled. Thinking of you. So, hitting text. What was I talking about with Rio? So with Rio, Rio does have some safety issues. Like I always tell people, if you're going to go there, stay at Leme Beach, which is next to Copacabana, but Leme Beach is a lot safer. That's a place we always stay when we go. I really recommend that. But going outside of there, there's places in Brazil that are totally safe. Like Minas Gerais, we really like going to Ouro Preto, Miranda. There's some really nice towns there to check out. Historic places, so it's cool. Let's see. Rose, you're still on, Mark Wolters. Yes, I still am. I've only been on for like 45 minutes. Usually, so last night we went for 2 hours. Well, I went for 2 hours here. We used to do like the 3-hour live feeds today. I think today the boys and I are going to try to do something here in like 45 minutes, an hour or so. We'll see when Caleb wakes up and Liam is woken up. So we'll be on for another hour or so don't you worry. Oh, who's calling? Mom is calling. Well, answer the phone and talk to her. She's your mom. You can talk to your mom anytime. Hi, Mom. So, Liam's talking to Mom. I love how they're like, Mom's calling. I'm like, it's your mom. You can't answer the phone when it's there. It's like when they knock on the door to come in, like when their friends drop them off. I'm like, you live here. You can just come in. It's okay. Let's see. Oh, Breedy Blocks, when are you going to Jamaica? So we were in Jamaica last year and loved it. Like, we all love Jamaica. Yes, Breedy Blocks, we got it. So we're looking to go back. I think Jamaica is now going to be kind of one of our go-to going back to places because we had such a wonderful time with the people and our experience there. And the thing is, Jamaica sometimes gets a bad rap because you have a lot of people at the cruise ship ports. They're trying to sell trinkets, they're trying to sell stuff, and people get upset with them. Like, look, these people, that's how they make a living. There's no social security savings that's going to help people out. You got to make money to feed your family. And I found, and this is one thing, if you treat people with respect when you travel, even if they're trying to sell you stuff, you're like, hey, you know what? Thank you. I already have all my souvenirs for the trip. I appreciate it, but I appreciate what you're doing. Thank you. It's good stuff, but I'm not getting anything. You have a great day. And you're like nice about it. I can't tell you how many times I would tell them that, and I show that respect, fist bump, and we go on our ways, and they leave us alone. And then we'd actually talk like friends. I remember we're in Ocho Rios, and the boys, like, this is why I lost the first 50 pounds, because I just couldn't do stuff because I was just too heavy. I know I'm still too heavy, but I'm working on it. But they weren't to climb this waterfall, and I stayed back with this guy, and I told him the thing. And so we were just sitting there and watching him, and then he and I talked for like 25 minutes. And he told me his story and all these kind of things there. And it's like, yeah. And he's like, no, you don't have to buy anything. No problem. It's, And so we just talked, but it was the fact that I showed him, respect and kindness, and it was fine. So that's nice. Means to travel. So if you want to talk about going to the UK and with the restrictions and everything, tomorrow night, that would be Sunday. Oh, morning. 11 a.m. Eastern on Sunday, Means to Travel has their tea time travel chat, so you can do that. So yeah, and they're putting out their other videos too. Let's see. Most wanted 650. Are you originally from Texas? No, I'm originally from Illinois. Though my dad worked in Texas for probably 20 years. But his company was based in Illinois, and he was like the head of Texas, so he was down there forever. So there's always been a little spot in my heart for Texas. We're actually going to go down there probably next month. Sometime before Christmas. We're going to go down and see some of our buddies down there and just go and explore the state. We have a video like a don'ts of Austin, a don'ts of Texas, what to eat for Texas on my channel, but we'll be doing all kinds of new stuff because I think we're going to go Dallas and Fort Worth, Fredericksburg, San Antonio again because we love it, Galveston, Houston, and probably check out some stuff along the way. So we'll see. It's kind of an open-ended kind of thing because neither of us can really pin down how long we want to go for. And it's like, well, I bought a turkey for Thanksgiving, but we could have that turkey for Christmas. So, we're trying to figure things out. Let's see. What? I dislike turkey. Yeah, Liam dislikes turkey, so that's kind of a drawback. So, but we can just have lots of stuffing. Oh, Jocelyn makes. So this is one thing is I'm hoping Jocelyn will be able to make some videos on how to make her oyster stuffing. She makes incredible oyster stuffing, and her sweet potato souffle. Fantastic stuff. Also, for those of you that think looking pretty while you cook is important, if you're going to make a bird, better to put your breast down. It doesn't look cool, but you put the breast down because then the fat soaks down through because the breast doesn't have fat. It's white meat, so you get some of that juiciness going through down that way if you cook it breast down. But those are some tips you can get at Simply Jocelyn. So check that out. Camille asks, have you ever been to Sicily? I have. If you do go there, it's a different experience than going to mainland Italy because you don't have as many of the historic buildings because the Romans used Sicily as a breadbasket. They used that to make food. It wasn't like a temple kind of stuff because you had the Valley of the Temples there, and those are actually Greek temples to check out. So it is nice to go. The food was fantastic. I would definitely go back. I think if we end up if we have to stay just in Italy for that like 6 weeks next summer, we will be getting down to Sicily because I want to show the boys that for sure. Oh, Mo's Hans Zimmer concert for Dublin in 2020. Wow, 2021 is pushed back to 2022. Yeah, that's telling you something right there. They're pushing that back.
Why did COVID have to come?
Yeah, I know. Liam's asking, why did COVID have to come? I know, buddy. I know.
Everything was much better.
Yeah. Turn It Up World said, Fredericksburg is awesome. Great time to go. Yeah, we're going to go. Have a good time there. I'm going to do a few videos on German influence in America. We used to do some of these culture videos back in the day. So I'm going to do a few more. So I figure if we're in Fredericksburg, we got to have some fun with it. So we're going to do that. Hey, Liam, Derek from Means to Travel agrees with you. He says turkey is my least favorite part of Thanksgiving dinner. So when I was a kid, my great aunt Alice, who passed away this year, she would always make these grape pies that were just fantastic. My cousin Sarah, she got the recipe. She makes it actually in the newspaper. So probably next, because you have to use Concord grapes, and she doesn't have any more. So when she gets them next year, she's going to make a video with us making that grape pie. So very nice thing.
The grape pie is very good.
Yeah, Liam says the grape pie is very good, and Liam is a very discerning palate. So and sometimes, but yeah, no, that's really good. And my mom, like, it's so good. I saw my cousin when we came back from our Mountain West road trip, and she's like, "Yeah, I gave your mom a pie." I'm like, "Really?" She didn't tell me that. She's like, "Yeah, I gave it," and it's like she had given it to my mom like about 3 days before we visited her. So I know my mom probably still had some of that pie and was hiding it from me. Grandma's sneaky, isn't she, Liam? Yeah. Okay, so Liz from Means to Travel has a question. Wolters World, thank you for getting my name right. Any tips on how to best celebrate Thanksgiving while abroad? So this is one thing we've had to do a number of times. And I remember, one time we were in Portugal, we went and looked for turkey. Like, finding turkey is tough in some countries. And we found a place that had turkey. They just had like turkey breast. And we went and I ordered it. And Josh was like, I want to order it, but this other Portuguese food's better. So I had the turkey and they had the other stuff. But what's funny is if you look around, back in the day, there used to be like boards at the embassies and consulates and on their online message boards that would have like, here's some places that have, it's like here's some places that have English speaking doctors. We do not recommend them. They just know that they speak English, and they would have, here's some places that have Thanksgiving events. So you might look and see what places might be having Thanksgiving events, because this is something that I've seen a few places. I know, like, when I lived in Lisbon, the Queen's birthday, they would have, they would have parties at the embassy. They'd invite everybody to come. The German embassy would have parties for Oktoberfest and invite people from the community. I mean, now with COVID, I don't know, because I know you guys are there during the COVID times, but that is something to think about, because there are some that's there. Means to travel. Stuffing and crescent rolls for me. Yes, I can eat crescent rolls to the end of time. And actually, so Jocelyn makes her own stuffing, and it's phenomenal. Like, her oyster stuffing is next level, amazing. But I still like to have some stuffing on my own, so I bought a couple boxes of stovetop. And Jocelyn's like, get that crap away from me. I'm like, but I love it. So I'll probably have some of that for lunch today, just because I can have it when she's gone. Shh. Yeah, you go ahead, Liam. So Francis, yeah, her sweet potato souffle is unbelievable. Let's see. NBA Denzel, oh, you that man who I always watch you doing the travel tour guide and what not to do. That's me. Good to see you, NBA Denzel. Nice to see you. Paul Tipton, good to see you. Let's see. Gallivanting gals, I can't repeat what you said. That's too funny.
What was it?
Nothing. Like I said, Liam, I can't repeat it. Oh, Venetia David, thank you very much for the super chat. That's really nice of you. Thank you for your Santa Fe video. I'm planning on going there in 2022. I'm a big Georgia O'Keeffe fan. Oh God, her museum is awesome. You'll love it. I'm a big Georgia O'Keeffe fan. Great to watch your videos before I travel to new places. That's true. So, Venetia, if you ever end up in Indianapolis, there's a museum in Indianapolis that has some of her stuff. It's Native American art and Native American history. It's really cool. Yeah, so those who don't know, Georgia O'Keeffe is probably one of the most influential and important female artists in American history. And she painted a lot of stuff in the Southwest and Native American culture and stuff. And her artwork is unbelievable. And she did a lot of her work in Santa Fe and by Santa Fe. And so they have actually the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum is there in Santa Fe. It is well worth it. Right now, I think they're doing time tickets, so I think they are open, but it's time ticket stuff. But 2022, I'm sure you'll be fine. But Santa Fe, so we have that Dunce of Santa Fe video, but Santa Fe is a fantastic place. I highly recommend it for anybody. We really had a nice time. We might be going, so since my spring break got canceled, but I don't know if the kids' spring break got canceled. The kids isn't, and I'm online, we might go do a Route 66 trip to Santa Fe and then come back. for that. So yeah. Let's see. Derek, need me to ship some to you, Derek? Let me know. Yeah, Marianne, better I eat that when Jocelyn's away. Yeah, probably best thing. Gabe Nuts! I haven't seen you forever, buddy. Good to see you. A little mimosa cheers to you. And a mimosa cheers to all of you for being here with us on this Saturday morning. I know I was supposed to put out a normal video today, but last night I got excited and did a live feed and had a fun time, so I thought we'd do it again this morning.
I think Mom might be on this. If she could.
I don't know if Mom's on here. She called you, but then I think she's driving now. So we had a good time. We had a good time chatting last night. It was a fun chat. It was a fun, like, spontaneous chat, and it was just a really good time, so it was nice. But yeah, anyway. Let's see. So thank you. Oh, also a big thank you to our moderators who are moderating the content on here. Because what I see and what you see is different. So sometimes I don't see what's up there that can't get taken down. So I appreciate our moderators helping keep it a positive, upbeat, travel-focused chat, or drink-focused chat, if you will. So there is that. Let's hit the road, Jack. Hey, how are you doing? Good to see you up on here. Wow, Epic Ort, I have attached my grandmother and grandfather to an electronic rocket to send them to another galaxy. Well, that's cool of you. Showing them new places. Very nice. Liam, that was pretty funny. Let's see. Mr. Means to Travel is drinking a traditional pale ale. True to some nice Cornish flavor. Yeah. So British ales. What we see is there's beer and there's the ales. The ales, it's a crank and they pump it out. So it's not under a pressure, it's just pumped out. That's when people talk about warm beer in England. It's the ales because it's not kept ice cold. So there's that. And for a long time, I wasn't a fan, but the last 5-6 years, I've kind of come around and actually do enjoy it. So I'll get pull a pint for me because they actually do pull a pump to pump it out. So it's kind of cool. Let's see. Crawford McConnell. I watched a Scotland video that ate the haggis. Oh yeah, Liam. That's the kid that's behind me over there, who is just playing on my phone. He loved haggis. You saw the video he has. He's like, oh, and he's like, yeah, he loved that stuff. Hey, let's hit the road, Jack. I got my passport renewal. It came in. So we, another reason why we haven't tried any of the international travel right now is because Liam's passport is expiring. And so we sent in his stuff for a new passport in August. And it's still not here. And we think maybe it'll be here by Thanksgiving. We don't know. So until we get his new passport, we're definitely just going to be doing U.S. stuff, obviously. Though we could leave you at home by yourself, Liam. Would you like that? What? Oh, he said no. You'd have the house. You and the dog could stay here. Eat toaster strudel. I just have like 400 toaster strudels. You'll be fine. Anyway. Hey, Amy. Good to see you. Aw, Bonnie. Where's this location? Location of this vlog. This is in our sala. This is in our living room in the U.S. So Rocket Man Productions. Hey, Mark. I'm a uni student in the UK, but interested in a camp counselor scheme in 2021 in the summer. What are American summer camps like? I also get 30 days free travel. Any recommendations East Coast? Oh yeah, there's plenty of places the East Coast. I'd probably recommend New England because it's beautiful there. You got some really cool cities like Boston. You go to a little bit south. You got New York City. Really, really pretty area. Or you could do the Southeast. Do North Carolina with the Outer Banks, then go down to Charleston, South Carolina, Savannah, Georgia, come up to Atlanta. Could be a place to fly out of. Summer camps in the U.S., if it's an overnight one, like Caleb has done a few sailing camps and loved it. It's a fun thing. A lot of parents just send their kids away because it gives them a chance to get the hell away from their kids for a little bit. I don't know what summer camps are going to be like in 2021 with COVID and everything, so that's one thing I'd look out for. But if you do it, I mean, believe me, you will have a huge impact on kids' lives. So that's really cool you doing that, man. So cool. Liam in the remake of Home Alone. Yeah, I know. We'd probably come back. He'd probably invent like a time machine. I don't know. He's a pretty cool kid.
That would never happen in the history of mankind.
Oh, Liam's saying the time machine will never happen in the history of mankind. He'll probably tell you why. How time travel is not possible. But anyway.
Maybe in a million years.
Maybe in a million years. Okay.
And
Yeah. Okay.
It's actually the only way it could ever be.
I got you. I got you, Liam. So Rose says, I forgot the mac and cheese for Thanksgiving dinner. Don't forget that. So we don't do the mac and cheese at Christmas or at dinner, but we do mac and cheese for every day. It's great. Actually, the town we live in there's a craft factory here, so it's like when we eat mac and cheese, we're eating local. So it's nice. So Paul Tippin asks, can you chase Liam's passport up, or is there a tracker on it? So when you apply for a passport in the U.S., after about 10 days, it gets registered in the system, and you can actually check the status. And he had been in the we received it stage since August. Last week, Jocelyn got an email update that says it's now in process, and the in process can take another month. And that's when they review the documents and everything. But will this be your third? This will be Liam's third passport. So it's like you have his stuff, and he's 9, so you think it'd be faster, but they haven't done that yet. So hopefully we'll get it by Thanksgiving. I don't know. Linus of
like a trillion stamp for my first 2.
I know you do have like a trillion stamps for your first 2. Liam with the mic drop as he goes to get his toaster strudel. Go get your stuff, buddy. Let's see. Linus of Lekistan. I don't even know what that is. I stumbled across some English ale and porter. They were quite good. Thank you for your awesome videos. I wish I saw your New Orleans video before I went. I got had by those shoe hustles. Yeah, those shoe hustles. I bet you I know where you got those shoes. You got those in New Orleans, Louisiana. And you're like, damn it. Or you got those on your feet. You're like, damn it. Yeah, they've got me before. So that's why we always have a fun time with that. Oh, Estakala in Kingston, Ontario. Kingston, Ontario, one-time capital of Canada. We were there on Market Day. Well, Market Day was like Farmers Market Day. We were there a few years ago. Really underrated place. And the thing is, when people do their road trips through Canada, they're like, oh, we do Quebec, Montreal, Ottawa, and then Toronto. Kingston should be a stop on your drive, for sure. Kingston's a really nice place. It was funny because Kingston, there's towns we go to that I don't make videos at. Excuse me, and I feel bad. Kingston's one of those towns because we were there. And I'm like, this is a really cute town. People were super nice. They had blocked off stuff for the pedestrian part. Maybe there was like a summer festival or something. But it was just a really nice experience. I'm like, and we only went there because it's like, oh, it's stop on the way. I knew the name. I'm like, yeah, it was a place I thought about going to, and I didn't prepare any videos. I didn't back up any things, and I'm like, dang it. So nowadays, when I go through towns like that, I'm like, how can I help promote the city? And so in my script book, I have all the scripts. I try to get my script. I got basically the breakdown of my scripts before we're traveling, and I make more notes and change them up while we go. But there's some things, like if I do a video on 5 things that Americans mess up when they go to Canada. Yeah, that could be filmed anywhere in Canada, right? And so with that, I'm like, that would be one I'd have back as a backup. So if I hit a town like Kingston, I'm like, this place is great, and I want to make a video so I can help people see the city, and that might get it on their kind of list of places to go. So I try to have those like backup videos to do. Also with my business videos, I'll do that too. I'm like, this is a really great town. I got to film something here. I might do a business video, so we get that. William VR, we get our passports in 4 days. You are not in the U.S., my friend. Let's hit the road. It took around 8 weeks. Yeah. So in the U.S., the passports really, they've actually opened it up so you can do the expedited version again. But when we did it with Liam in August, the expedited was not an option. So they are having some cheer stuff. Toria, cheers from Bamberg, Germany. Oh, can you have some Rauchbier and Weisswurst for me? I miss it so much. Love that Rauchbier. So for people looking for a good place to go in Germany, if you're going down to Munich, you can go see other cities. Bamberg is a great city to go to. I love it. We go stay there all the time. I've probably stayed there about 7 times. My mom's like, can we go back to Bamberg? I'm like, yes, we can go back to Bamberg, Mom. No problem. So my mom has been going back to Germany, obviously not this year, but she's been going back, getting my dad to go back every year for the Christmas markets. And she's getting to Bamberg. Yeah, I think she's been there maybe more than I have now. So William likes a new t-shirt. We have them on order if you want to order them. We ship international. Shipping's a little pricey international, but at least they're available. So there is that. Scott Neal, Bamberg is on our list to see. Good, my friend. Let's see. Chris Bates, what is happening in Canada? Are they able to travel to the U.S.? Just wondering about our winter visitors in Arizona. So there still are flights you can do, but you can't drive because the border's closed that way and they keep extending it. So I think, I mean, when our trip, we still saw a few Canada plates, but not a lot. So there is some stuff. Izzy, how you been? Good to see you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Love the channel, dog. Your videos have taught me a lot about culture, even from neighboring states. Stay safe. Love from North Carolina. Hey, thanks, Izzy. And if you could have some of that incredible North Carolina barbecue for me, that'd be great. I miss it. Izzy, I was talking about North Carolina earlier in the chat, or in the live feed. North Carolina is a super underrated state for people to go to because there's so much to see and do there, from mountains to great beers to the museums, the Research Triangle, to the Outer Banks for the beaches. I mean, North Carolina is one of those states that it's like how California has everything, right? Because it's so long, it has all this stuff. North Carolina is a smaller version that has all the stuff a tourist would love to do. So really, really cool. Let's see. Yeah, Rose, I would like to go back to Australia too. I love it down there. I was an exchange student back there back in the day. So Linus says, yeah, the New Orleans Police Department, where, as he said, helpful, friendly. Yes, they were helpful and friendly, but don't mess with their horses because they'll pee. But God, New Orleans is a great town. That's so every year, there's places you go to a lot. New Orleans is kind of like a go-to place for my buddies. So this year I went with my buddy Mike and Matt for a guy's trip. Last year with my buddy Jeff. 2 years for that, I went with Jeff and Brad. And so like it's kind of one of my yearly places I like to go because I just love going there. Yes, Liam?
Each year, we have gone to Paris at least once.
Yeah, each year. Yeah, we do go to Paris quite often. Not this year, sadly. We would have been there. We were supposed to fly out of Paris. So sad. Okay, Victor, thank you very much for the super chat, my Canadian friend. Safest place in Africa you've been, people might not know, Rwanda. Straight up, Rwanda, safest place to visit in Africa, one of the safest places to visit in the world. We had a wonderful time in Rwanda. I mean, how they've overcome what happened with the genocide 26 years ago to today gives me hope for the rest of the world. Like if they can overcome that and find a way to forgive and reconcile, then we can get past our differences. And Rwanda was really a life-changing place to visit. We're always a huge fan of and recommending for people to go there. Highly recommend it. I'm really sad because, like we put out videos on Rwanda and Tanzania and going to Africa and stuff, and no one watches them. Like I have one on, Safari, What You Need to Know. It's like 10,000 views. And it's like, this is really helpful stuff, but people just don't travel. They don't search for it. And then they don't get recommended. And honestly, Rwanda is a fantastic, fantastic place to go.
Yeah, I want to go back there like 100 times.
Yeah, Liam just said, I want to go back there 100 times.
Not in summer.
So, but not in summer. Okay. Yeah, Hal, we've been to Hotel Mille Collines. We've actually been to the actual hotel. We had lunch there. And when you talk to people about what it was like, man, it's like it hits. It hits you. Carmen, hey, how are you? Good to see you back. Thank you very much for the super chat. It does make a difference. And I would say, for all you, the super chats, or if you're grabbing, some gear on woltersworld.store to stuff, this stuff really helps us to make our honest travel videos because we don't get the sponsorships like other channels because we focus on honest advice. Not every brand wants full honesty. So they kind of shy away from, fat old guys that tell the truth. So there's that. So we really appreciate it because it does really, really, really make a difference. Like, can I say thank you for this microphone so our audio is a lot better? This is from you. This is from your super chats. This is from your buying the gear and stuff like that. We use it to get things like this so we can make it a better videos for you. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Oh, Eric is watching from Paris at the moment. So Eric Svard is a superhero of ours, a friend of ours. And Eric is traveling all over and just making me so damn jealous. I love you, Eric, in that way that I love my children, that they're so young and they can do things and their body doesn't hurt anymore. Hey, Antoine du Pelsis. Good to see you. Yeah, so gotta watch more of your Rwanda videos. Yeah, so there's I think we have the shocks, mistakes, is Rwanda safe, what to pack for Rwanda. We have all those out. I think the only one I have left is maybe the don'ts of Rwanda. I think that's the only one. I might have got that one out, but there's only like one left. And then I filmed mistakes travelers make, and it's a big video. and I was going to have that come out at the beginning of the summer when people were really watching travel videos to help them out. And so I'm saving that one. Probably will come out before next summer when people start traveling again. And it's got a beautiful view where I have that one. God, Rwanda was so awesome. Anyway, Mark, have you ever taken the California Zephyr train trip that Amtrak has? I have not. I've done the Illinois Zephyr. I usually go up to Chicago on the train. I hate the traffic in Chicago, so I'd rather sit on the train and do that. I think that's something I might actually do, is do a long distance train trip on Amtrak and do some videos on that to show people what it's like. I know Greyhound reached out to me a couple years ago about doing some stuff with them, and I told them, like, look, this is what I want to do: the good, the bad, and the don'ts, and the shocks, but the fun stuff. And they ghosted me. So I'm like, all right. Yeah, Rose, the safaris are amazing. I mean, it was a fantastic. My parents went with us on our to Rwanda and Tanzania, and my dad to this day is like, that is the best trip we've ever gone on. Like, it was such a wonderful experience. We used a company called Shadows of Africa. Like, we didn't get any discounts. We never do that. We paid full stuff. It was worth every penny. Fantastic time. Yes. Yes, Liam?
I prefer Rwanda just because some of the places there were no mosquitoes because it was too high.
Yeah, Liam liked because there's no mosquitoes because it's the country of 1,000 hills, so it's high up there. So Liam liked that there was no mosquitoes either. So let's hit the road, Jack. I've been keeping an eye on airfares. LAX to Amsterdam, then Paris to LAX, nonstop, 8:30. It depends what time of year it is. If that's summer, that's super low. If that is other times of the year, it's okay. Like that ticket, I'd be like, that's a good price. I would buy that. So, hey, Hal in the exciting state of Connecticut. Hey, we love Mystic Seaport, by the way. If you're ever in Connecticut, people, and you go by Mystic, Connecticut, go to Mystic Seaport. They show what it was like having a historic seaport on the East Coast, and actually they do camps, and they do summer camps and stuff. Caleb has actually done 2 Mystic Seaport summer camps over the years, so we've spent a lot of time there. And in Connecticut, there's also there's a state park where they has like dinosaur like scratchings. It's kind of cool. Yes, Liam?
I thought it was 4 years.
No, we've been there 4 times, but he's only gone to it twice because he wasn't old enough the other times. Lori Sims, I love the new mic. Sounds so much better. Yeah, Lori, this is actually for you because I know you were having problems with the sound, so I have that. But the thing is, when I use this microphone, I can't hear anything that comes out of my computer. But at least we got something working. So, Chris Bates, thank you very much for the super chat, buddy. Hey, Mark, have a great day. Time for a bike ride for me. It's not that hot here today. Cool, buddy. So, for those who know, Chris is a really great guy. He's helped us a lot of stuff. Really great follower, patron, really good dude. Thanks, Chris. Have a good day, buddy. Peter T. Hi, Mark. Hope you're back on your travel soon. Stay safe to then. We're hopefully off to Croatia in 2021. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to go there because how they're doing stuff, you should be able to go. Might have some hoops to jump through, but should be working. Matt Harmon is in Cadiz, Spain. So, fun fact, our Cadiz, Spain video I filmed was the very first Wolters World video that Liam was in because I'm carrying him in Baby Bjorn in my front when I filmed it. Back when we had very, very, very low production values. So, Jordan's asking, what's the best cheap honeymoon trip? Someplace that is 3 hours from your house because that keeps mom and dad from trying to visit you. Otherwise, I would say like a Vegas or Cancun would be cheap, easy places to go. Or you look for places like the Smoky Mountains. You could do like a mountain cabin kind of thing, like Idaho or Montana. You could do those cheap. Wyoming as well. Not Jackson, Wyoming. That's really expensive, but other places. So there are options. Let's see. Gallivant Gales, yeah, I think Amtrak would be fun. Yeah, I'm trying to think of things to do because we're doing our travels to show people how to travel safely and responsibly because people want to travel again and people are traveling. So if we don't put out information on how to travel safely and well, they're going to do stupid stuff. And I've had this talk with a few other travel vloggers that there are travel vloggers and Instagrammers that are out there that are promoting travel just to get people out, but they're not promoting it in a safe way, and it's really frustrating. I'm like, look, we got to do it the right way. We got to keep people safe and travel well and travel smart and travel healthy. And so I want to help. We're trying to help people really do that. So hopefully we can. Paul Tipton, can't wait for the channel traveling with Liam. Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. You probably want me to edit everything. Ugh, I hate editing. It's such a pain. Let's see. Yeah, Mystic Seaport's great. Yep. Where is it? Hey, Carmen's there. Sam says, Paul Tip, my money is on Liam taking him over Wolters World. He's so insightful about places for his age. Yeah. Caleb, well, he's 14, so he hates picture taking and being in videos and stuff. And Liam's, only 9, so he's still cool with it. But yeah, I could see that. Caleb won his own thing. He's his own cat, which is totally fine. You gotta be your own cat. Let's see. The Will Experience tuning in from Boone, North Carolina. Man, we have a lot of North Carolina people here today. Wow, this bottle is getting close to empty. Who knew that you could drink a whole bottle of champagne? Well, champagne. I think it's like $5 bubble wine. But hey, just as effective as the fancy stuff. So, but of course, I need my vitamins. And to make you happy, I'll put a little extra OJ in this one. To get that extra vitamin C to keep me healthy. Yes? Sorry, Liam's talking. Yes?
I hate leather seats.
Liam hates pleather seats.
Why did Delta just use leather?
Because it's cheaper and it's easier to clean. That's why. So Liam found something bad about Delta. Their seats. The fabric of the seats.
I can never get up.
He could never get up because he gets stuck on them. So.
I hate it.
Oh, John's from Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah, it's funny. Like we used to have a bunch of Minnesota, Wisconsin crew. Now today's like North Carolina day. And North Carolina, seriously, I keep telling people, North Carolina is a great state to visit. It's got so much to see, from mountains to coast to cool cities and museums. Well worth going to. Good beer from Asheville. Nice time. So, Narden, New York City here says, how old were your children when they started traveling? Liam was, I think, 5 or 6 weeks, because he was born in Portugal. And I think at 5 or 6 weeks, we did a road trip to Cadiz, Spain, and Sevilla, Spain. And that was his first trip. And then at like 2 months, we went for about a month and a half, and we went we were living in Portugal. So we went to Italy and Greece, then back to Italy, and then back to Portugal. So I think the U.S. was the 6th country he actually visited. So when we moved back. Let's see. Lori Sims saying Amtrak is super easy and beautiful ride. Orange County to San Diego to go downtown or the zoo, really convenient. Yeah, that's the thing is Amtrak can be really convenient. Like, for example, for me to drive to Chicago, it's 2.5 hours from where I live. But I have to deal with parking. I have to deal with all the headaches in Chicago driving. Or I can take the Amtrak, which, though it's late every single day, it's like 3.5 hours to get up there with delays 4. For me, it's worth the hassle because I'm paying. I mean, my tickets up there is less than my tickets there and back is way less than my parking for staying up there. So we actually do that when we go up. Yeah, Liam, Hal Brenner's with you. Real leather for Liam. None of that faux stuff. Yep. Yeah, got to keep him fancy. Oh, my goodness. Gabe Metz, which drivers are the worst of New England? I say Rhode Island, but that's because I'm from Massachusetts. Well, Gabe, we all know about the mass holes as people talk about them, right? I will say for Rhode Island, they have the worst signage in New England. Like going through Providence, it's just, I'm like, what the hell are you people doing? Yeah, dude. I mean, that's one thing. I think I have that on my don'ts in New England is like, don't get pissed off with the mass holes. But that could be pretty much like anybody on the highway on I-95. Just be ready for douchebaggery everywhere. Lisa, good morning from Washington State. I hope you're safe out there. Thoughts on traveling to Hawaii? If you're going to go, you're probably going to be just going to one island. You won't be able to do island hopping right now. We were actually looking at going in March, but then the university I work out canceled spring break. So until I know, I mean, I might be online. I don't know. But until they make an announcement, I have no spring break. So I don't know what we're going to do. But That is one of the trips we have if like Americans can't go abroad next year. I have 13 different trips kind of planned out, and one of them is a Hawaii trip, one's an Alaska trip. Then we have other places going. Some of the stuff is Caribbean because those you can still get to. So, OG, can you travel with Lysol in the overhead compartment? I doubt it. Well, it's a small can maybe, but I don't know. You'd have to check. You have to check on that one. Let's see. Ooh. Oh, I lost somebody. Okay, Hal Brenner. I would love to see someone travel through New England only on local trains. Metro North and Connecticut and the T through Rhode Island and Mass up to Maine. That would be cool. And Hal, there actually are people that do that. There's actually a lot of train-focused YouTube channels that just do the trains around through there. The problem is searching for them, how algorithms work and how YouTube and Google work is it's based on what you looked for before. So they're going to look like, they'll look and see, because if you're watching Wolters World now, they'll look and see is what does Wolters World have? And what does Rick Steves have? Because Rick Steves is related to Wolters World, though Rick Steves just does Europe. They're going to start to look for things there. So sometimes it's really hard to find. So if you're looking up a destination and you want to try to find new people that talk about it, sign out of your account, and then go into that secret mode or incognito mode or whatever they call it, and then search that way, and you actually find new people. It's kind of interesting. That's how actually sometimes when I'm researching new destinations and I'm like, okay, like for example, when I going to Italy, my stuff comes up all the time. I'm like, well, what have new people done? What have other people gone to? And I'll do that. I mean, we still come up, but at least I'll get some other people's stuff to show up so I can watch some other people's videos. Let's see. Gallivanting gals. Oh my God, in Boston, they love their horns. I think they use them as much in a day as I do in a year. Yeah, Boston's quite the place. Hannah Fountain, as a New England, I agree. Stay away from Connecticut. Yeah, Mystic Seaport, it's funny because we'll go, and honestly, the driving around New York City is easier sometimes than driving through Connecticut. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Lisa Arnett, bring Clorox wipes in the plane. Yeah, we do that all the time. That's our plan if we actually go to Hawaii in December on the fence. So also, Lisa, don't forget, they've actually expanded. You can go up to 12 ounces with the hand sanitizer now. Not just the 3 ounces. You can bring in bigger ones, so to have that with you too. But yeah, because that's one thing. Jocelyn always took, if you look in the boys' backpacks, Jocelyn always put like a 10-pack of Clorox wipes in there, and she always had this. So whenever we'd sit down, it was like my job to put the suitcases up and get the boys locked in. And Jocelyn would take a Clorox wipe and she would wipe down the tray table and she would wipe down the screen because, dude, that screen is nasty that people do. And she'd wipe all those things down and you'd come back and it'd be brown. You're like, oh, that's gross. That's I've been on there where there's been fingerprints of ketchup. I'm like, I'm not watching anything on this flight. It's 10 hours long. I don't care. Oh, yeah. We cleaned it off and did, but something to think about. Let's see. So, George, how many countries have you guys been to in Europe? The only place we really have left, because there's places we've been to where we would make videos. I've been to Romania and Belarus, but it's before Wolters World. The big area we haven't been to in Europe is kind of former Yugoslavia. We've been to Montenegro, Croatia, and Slovenia, but we haven't been to Bosnia. We haven't been to Serbia. We haven't been to Macedonia. We haven't been to Albania. So there's that there, and then Bulgaria is another one I want to get to and film, and Ukraine. So after that, there's Andorra, I guess. But otherwise, we've kind of hit a lot of that stuff. So we're working on that. Jet Fuel 12, good to see you again. Love your videos, Mark. I got some great travel tips thanks to you over the years. Well, I'm glad I can help, Jet Fuel. That's cool. Thank you. Oh, Scorpio Sue's in the house. Yeah, Scorpio Sue says, Chicago has aggressive driving. Beware of the pickup truck that is suddenly on your tail. Yes, I still remember when I used to go to Chicago, because I went to the University of Illinois, and so I had buddies from Chicago, so we'd go up there, and when we'd visit, they would do the double wide pass. So, it's 2 lanes and 2 lanes going back and forth, and they go from this over here, and they go, ooh, and pass over here. I'm like, oh my God, we're going to die. Yeah, they were insane. Insane. Good times. Good times. Yeah, so gallivanting gals, we also took wipes and hand sanitizer before COVID anyway, just a larger quantity. Yeah, because here's the thing. When you travel around, I found that getting Getting hand sanitizer, it's everywhere now. Like it all smells like crap now. There's no good smelling stuff anymore. But it's easy to get hand sanitizer. It's just the wipes are still tough to get. What you're seeing is now they're making them in the smaller packets instead of the tubes. Pick those up whenever you can get those. I know where the grocery store by me, you can only buy one packet at a time, and they only have packets of 10 wipes. So I'll go in, I'll buy one pack of 10, put it in the cart, and have it just for when we travel. So we have that. Carmen, I'm interested in the Albania video when the time is right. Yeah, we'll be filming. Don't you worry about that. Yeah, Hal, Andorra is very boring. I know it is. It's just a tax-free shopping thing. It's the place you go to. Like I went to Andorra. I'm planning on going there. So I'm really a big proponent of study abroad for students. And so I usually do 1 or 2 trips a year with students. But this year we couldn't do one. I had one for Vienna that was canceled. My one for next year is canceled. So my idea is to take students to Barcelona, and we'll do like 10 days in Barcelona, but we'll do like a long day trip or overnight in Andorra just to get the students into the country so they can go and see it because it works. I'm a business professor, so I can talk about business and how tax havens work and stuff like that. So it kind of works. So we're looking to do that. Let's see. I like, let's hit the road, Jack. That's normal driving in Southern California. Yeah, oh my God, driving, Southern California driving, man. I love San Diego, but damn, rush. Man, it was just bad. It was just bad. So Crawford McDonald, maybe a personal question, but what have been character traits you have seen develop in yourself and members of your family due to world travelers? What do you think would have developed otherwise? Oh, that you do not think would develop otherwise. I don't know if they'd develop otherwise, but I know with the boys, they're very much more open-minded to people and ideas from multiple people. It's not like, oh no, I only listen to this person. They'll listen to a lot of people. That's one thing that makes me really proud is they want to make friends with anybody. It doesn't matter. There's no religion. There's no skin color. There's no nothing. And that's one thing that makes me so happy that showing them the world is really kind of developed in that way. And I think that's something with Jocelyn and myself. The more we travel, I mean, I did an interview that I said about with this newspaper the other day, and it was just being able to be like see around and see that look, everybody around the world, there's good people. No matter where you go in the world, you're going to meet good people. And yes, you're going to meet assholes too. Pardon my language, but you're going to meet bad people. But there's good people all over the world, and that's one thing that's nice. You see that look, there's good people everywhere, so you can find good people everywhere if you're looking. If your mind is set, they're jerks, then you're only going to see jerks. But you realize, hey, the world's full of all kinds of people. You're going to find all kinds of people. So that's nice. Hey, Tropheus 1971, good to see you again. Have I ever spent any time in the Interlaken, Switzerland region? Yes, I have. My wife and I love that area. Visiting Jungfrau is a must. Cheers. Yeah, so especially if you're younger, I always recommend, look, if college students are going to splurge, go to Interlaken in Switzerland. That is you do your canyoning, whitewater rafting, spelunking, all that stuff. That's where you go for that. It's pricey. It's pricey, but it is so much fun. So Interlaken is super nice, and right by there you go up to Lucerne, my favorite little town in Switzerland. Well worth going to get there. Lori Sims, people get scared driving on our 8, 9, or 10 lane freeways. It's true. And this is one thing I think people need to understand is when you drive, like in the US, you have to drive. And so everybody's driving. And so people get really freaked out because they might be used to like their big highway is 4 lanes, 2 going one way, 2 going another way. And when Lori says 8, 9, or 10 lanes, she doesn't mean 4 this way and 4 that way. She means 9 going that way and 9 coming this way. And it can be kind of daunting and it gets you kind of worried and freaked out. So if you're going to be traveling through any major metropolitan areas in the U.S. and you get scared like that, it sounds weird, but it's better to travel through during the day, like not during rush hour, but like, between 11 and 3, than obviously rush hour, but also at night. Because sometimes when it's dark, you're not sure, you can't see the lights where, you can't see the directions, you get freaked out. That's one thing I always tell people when they're going to the U.S., plan your drive accordingly. I know we're trying to plan out our Texas trip, and I'm trying to figure out the drive. I'm like, okay, we got this many hours here. Where do we stop? Where do I want to hit? Because whenever we go to Georgia, we drive down there, and if we don't leave, like if we leave early in the morning, we get through Nashville no problem. But if we sleep in a bit and we leave at like 10, well then we hit Nashville at the beginning of rush hour, and so we have rush hour all the way through Nashville. And Nashville, as cool as the town is and how much it's grown, that city has done a crap job in their development of their roads and their infrastructure, and it's just a disaster. So you get stuck in traffic because it sucks that way. Some like Indianapolis has done a good job. They've planned out for growth and stuff, so it's easy to get around. But Nashville, yeah, Nashville. So like I'm like, no. I will wake up at like 5 in the morning. I will pack the car the night before. I'm like, hey, let's go. I'll drive first just to get us going so we get through Nashville before rush hour. So that's one of the things you really got to think about. Let's see. Oh, jump again. Sorry. Son of Thomas. Hey, son of Thomas Moore. It's been a while. Good to see you. The citizens of Cairo were very helpful with me crossing the street into Tahrir Square. Yeah, that's one of the things. If you're going to a place and you're like, how the hell do people cross the street? Follow the locals or look really pathetic and the locals be like, come with us, silly tourist. We'll help you, because that's actually helped us a few times. I remember in Naples, we were there and trying to figure out how to cross and weave through the traffic. The guy's like, just come with me. And we're like going through. He's like, look at their eyes. So if they hit you, your soul will burn into them like you are going to hit me. It was pretty funny. Leonard, do you plan to visit Africa and do cities there? Yes, we actually have videos on Morocco, Rwanda, Tanzania. Highly recommend Rwanda. We loved it. Tanzania was great too. We were supposed to go to Ethiopia this summer, but obviously that got canceled. So we got stuff out there, Leonard. So you don't need to use all caps. Just saying. Also, all caps. There are some channels. If you write in all caps, you'll automatically get blocked. It's actually an option in YouTube. So be careful. Yeah, Mary Ellen, it was a culture shock when I moved to Atlanta. Highways in some places are 7 or 8 lanes each direction. Yeah, and when you're going through the city. And here's the thing. If you're driving through Atlanta, do not take the ring road, because the ring road is where all the trucks have to go. So that's where you got the semis and everything. If you drive straight through the city, you don't have the trucks for that. It's actually a better drive. And you get to see the Olympic Arch or the Olympic Torch, and you get to see the varsity is right there, so you can stop off and get a chili dog. So there's that. Yeah, Mr. Derek from Mr. Means of Travel. Oh, dang it, jumped. Where'd it go? Cornwall's hedges and single-lane roads are a bit nerve-wracking. Wouldn't recommend it for the first place an American goes to in England while driving. Yeah. So what you have to realize is sometimes you're on back roads, and it really is like hedges, like taller than me, like hard, like this, like serious hedges. And you're driving like there's another. It's one lane. You're like, wait, what do I do? There's these little jut-offs. You kind of like park your car a little bit into this little turn-off. Like turn-off is like literally about 3 feet in to this hedge, and you do that. And I've had that many times. I dated a girl by Seven Oaks, and she lived out in the fields, and we would have that all the time. So it is quite the experience. So just be ready. Honestly, if you're going to be driving to any country that's not your own, on YouTube, there's tons of videos that'll talk. We have videos on driving in Ireland, Scotland, UK to help people get ready for it. Watch some of those just so it's not a super huge surprise when it actually happens to you, because that's the only thing that gets bad. You're like, oh, what do I do at the roundabout? You have an idea what to do. It makes it a lot easier. So, the Great Divide. Have you been to every U.S. state? No, I have not, but I will tell you right now, if Americans cannot go abroad in 2021, we will get to all the states. I have left to visit. I have Alaska, Hawaii, Oregon, North Dakota, and I was at Salt Lake City Airport, but that doesn't count. So and then Utah. That's it. Actually, no. Yeah, that's it. So there's 4 left for me. The boys have those, but they haven't been to Washington, California, Texas. So we're getting a bunch of their things. Like we're taking them to Arkansas they've been to Arkansas. We're taking them to Texas and Oklahoma on the next trip. So like after this summer, if we can't go, we will definitely hit up Alaska, and so we'll get everything there. But we haven't been to all of them. So there's still some to see. Katie says, Nashville traffic hasn't been too bad during COVID right now, but yes, before it was horrible. Yeah, it was horrific. Yeah, you don't have as many people driving. Yeah, totally. Travel the world. Did you answer my Alps question? I sent it again because I don't know what it was. Mr. Derek from Mr. Means to Travel didn't find Devon too bad. Yeah, it's not too bad, but haven't explored a lot. Let's see. Yeah, Mary Ellen says 285 around the city can be a nightmare. I agree. Around Atlanta, it is bad. Hannah's moving to Europe. #jealous. What are a few things you take with you to help you with the transition? What do you take with you that you can't get in Europe? So what's cool now is, so I lived in Europe in the 90s, 2000, 2010s. Um, and the difference from when I lived there in the 90s, like you got nothing, to now with Amazon, you can get anything you want. You want mac and cheese? Kraft mac and cheese could be your house tomorrow. It's nice. Um, some things that I took, this is going to sound weird. Oh, your Netflix account will still work. That's nice. But I actually, what got me through when I lived in Lithuania, this is back before there was streaming service and stuff, I took, because back when the computers had the DVD player in the side, I actually took a case of DVDs to watch movies and make me feel better. That was one thing. Like, cause like, the big movies you can get, but like getting A Christmas Story or something like that, those are tough times. Like anytime, any family situation, it was nice to have some of those movies and music. But in general, stuff I would definitely take, pants. Because you're used to wearing the pants that you wear back home, and pants give people away a lot of times how the fit is. Like I'm a fat guy, so finding fat guy clothes in Europe is really tough, or anywhere in the world is tough. Sweden, you can find it. Thank you, Sweden. I appreciate that. If you're on the huskier side, getting clothes that fit you right, that isn't like wearing a toga basically, is tough. So sometimes I recommend bringing some pants. Shirts I found I can find stuff, but like pants are where it's been a problem, because like in Europe, I could get my waist size, but I had to be 7 feet tall. So something to think about for that. Let's see. There's a buzz on your hedgerow. Don't be alarmed. Yeah. Let's see. Traveling the world. Wolters world. Which country had the best Alps? Austria, Slovenia, Germany, Liechtenstein, Slovenia, Italy, France. I have only been in the Salzkammergut Lake. That's really pretty there. I think for dramatic views, well, there's difference. So there's like the dramatic Alps views. Switzerland on the train can't be beat. But if you go to the Dolomites in northern Italy, the wearing away of the mountains and the landscape there is just something totally different, that I just found is gorgeous. And as beautiful as the Dolomites are, and as many tourists go to Italy, not a lot of the international tourists do the Dolomites. So you can really have a time by yourself. I know I was in, it's the Asiago. I was in Asiago, and I'm like, this is really cool. Where are the tourists? There's no tourists. It was really kind of a nice thing. So that would be my talk on that. Hal Brennan, was Europe awesome before the Euro? When I was in Italy, I met Americans who said it was so cheap back in the Lira days. No, yeah. In Germany, they call the Euro the Teuro, which means the expensive. Because yeah, it overinflated a lot of stuff, and economics wise, the number, how they pin the accounts. I mean, there's so much BS, economics BS that went with that. Like how the euro is set up with inflation to get people to earn more money. So Portuguese people and German people can make the same amount of money. It can never happen, because if inflation gets too high, Portugal gets in the letter and they get taxed. So you're getting beaten down to stay at the lower level. So there's a lot of issues I see with it. I mean, for a traveler though, the euro's been great because you don't have to exchange money. So even though the prices have gone up, you're still saving it and not losing that 10 or 15% in the currency exchange. So there's that. Carmen asked, do you plan on taking a cruise in Alaska? Yes. If we don't get to go abroad this year, I think we will probably do a cruise in Alaska in the fall. So that other thing. Mike in Seattle, hope you're doing well. Hey, for those of you who are wondering, Seattle, because people always ask, should I go to Seattle or Vancouver? Because Vancouver sounds cooler. Because, it's Vancouver. But honestly, if you're looking for a town to go to, I would do Seattle. I went with a buddy of mine. We had way more fun in Seattle than we did in Vancouver. Now, Vancouver's still worth visiting, but I like Seattle better than Vancouver, to be honest. Yeah, and we're all about honesty. Yeah, Lori Sims was in the Dolomites a couple years ago. Nice. Good times. Traveling the world. Why? What? That's why Central Europe. No, well, Central Europe, actually, a lot of Central Europe does have the euro. I mean, the Czech Republic doesn't, but other places do. Let's see. Oh, it's 10. So let's try to get, let's do like 4 or 5 more questions and we'll get off, because I want to spend some time with the boys, because I heard the big one's starting to move upstairs. So everyone enjoys a 14-year-old when they wake up, right? For those of you little kids, enjoy the little kids, okay? You're like, they wake me up at 5 a.m. Believe me, getting woken up at 5 a.m. is better than dealing with waking up a 14-year-old. Just saying. Carmen misses the lira in the Deutschmark. I still have some Deutschmarks back. Oh, when I lived in Berlin, they had the euro. They went from Deutschmark to euro, and then they started having sales if you could pay in Deutschmarks to get more of it out. So it's kind of fun. That's right, traveling the world, family fun. Awesome. What are some good places to visit in Florida? St. Augustine in the north is really nice. That's worth visiting. Miami is a cool place to visit. Key West. Tampa, if you go to Ybor City and have a Cuban sandwich, that's cool. But Tampa has really good beaches at Clearwater Beach. And you can go to Tarpon Springs to see like a Greek community there. They have a dinosaur, I think it's still Dinosaur World. Good times. Ooh, Hal Brenner, Ljubljana is great. Adam Ravbar, cool. So Hal Brenner was in Ljubljana. We have been. I actually have the videos filmed, but all of my B-roll got wiped out. So I have the videos of me talking in the city put together, but I do not have the B-roll. So if I can get the B-roll back, which I doubt, I'm going to figure out some way to get extra B-roll. I will have those out because I have a don'ts of Ljubljana, shocks of Slovenia, what to know before you go to Slovenia. So we got some of those. BBAA, hi from Tokyo, Japan. Tokyo, awesome city, awesome place. Anna in Italy, good to see you. Oh yeah, Galvin to Gals Amelia Island is nice. That is true. Lori Sims, you have at least 5 more years of the wake up hun. Yeah, wake up hun. Oh, we go in, we're like, hey, buddy. Like, it takes 2 of us now. He's like, okay, you're awake. So the one time we didn't like go back in a second time since he's been doing the online school, he overslept and we got a call from the school saying your son's not online, and we're like, what? And so we went up and woke him up. Like, dude, don't yell at me anymore that we're not waking you up. Hey, David Vincent, you're the best, man. I'm glad. Thank you. I would love to meet you one day. I'm a fellow traveler. Hey, if any of you ever see us out traveling, come up and say hi. Because there's nothing weirder than when people write me on Instagram or Facebook, like, I saw you today, but I didn't say hi. I'm like, well, come say hi. Even if I'm filming, come up and say hi and talk. It's totally fine. I can edit out the part where we chat. It's okay. So always come up and say hi. We enjoy it. Yeah, Ljubljana is really pretty. Ljubljana, Slovenia in general, I think that's a hidden gem of Europe because it's kind of like people are going to Italy. They're not like, that's farther. I don't know how to come back. Or it's kind of like in that spot that it's like not southern, but it's not central. I don't know. And so people don't go there. But seriously, Slovenia is a fantastic place to visit. Great food. They've got great influence from like the Austrian cuisine and German kind of cuisine, but also great Italian influence cuisine. I mean, dude, you just eat so well when you're there. Decent wines. Lake Bled's always cool to go to. You can do like bobsledding, like on the thing, but like in like a little like roller coaster thing. It's just such a cool place. Josh Brown, yes, I have been to the north of England. York is actually my favorite town to go. I was supposed to go there this February, but COVID was hitting, and then there was all the flooding. And I'm like, they don't need another tourist there, so I ended up canceling that trip. And then COVID really took hold, and I kind of wish I would have gone, but I didn't think they needed me in the way when they were trying to help people. So. Traveling the world, how do you make sure not to overload trips? My top 1 countries are Israel, Italy, France, and Japan have too much to eat. Yeah. So you can do too much. But the thing is, you can do the 10 cities in 12 days thing. You can do that. But it's going to be, you got to plan to make sure, what do I really want to see? What are the 3 things I want to see in that city? And then do that. What I look at, especially if you're traveling with family, I'm like, look, plan 1 museum a day or 2 sites a day. Like there's a museum and an outdoor thing I want to see. You plan it kind of like that. Max 3 things to see in a day. You plan that because anything over that, it's just too much. So 2 is my usually go-to for a day. Like, well, I'm like, look, today we're going to go to Louvre and then we're going to walk the Champs-Élysées. We're going to do that in some way. If we're in Venice, I'm like, okay, we're going to walk Venice, and in the afternoon we're going to go to Murano, watch the glass blowing. So we'll do something like that. So these things. Lori Sims, I would really like to see you when you come to California. So right now I'm supposed to go to California in early May. We'll see. It's for a conference. So if the conference happens, I'll be there. If the conference doesn't happen, well, then I probably won't be there. But we'll see. So David Vincent, you coached me up to Brazil as well. So since you said it's safe, I trust you take the precaution you listed. Yeah. So Dave, in terms of safe, like Brazil, there's safe parts. Not everywhere. It's like anywhere you go. You got to be smart where you go and things. Like when I travel to Brazil, we never wear nice clothes. We never wear nice watches. We don't put our phones out. You know, the thing is, you'll see people in Copacabana, and they'll be like, have their iPads out or their iPhones doing stuff, and locals will be like, dude, put that shit away, because people will steal that from you. So you got to be careful. So, what else? Gilles Tanguay, what is your favorite dish ever? Bigli con Arna, which is a thick pasta noodle with a duck ragu sauce from Vicenza, Italy. That's one of my favorites. Kraft macaroni and cheese from Champaign, Illinois. It's made down the street. That's another one. Those are two of my favorite ones, to be honest. Hey, Aiden Baxter, I had to put you in a timeout because you asked way too many times the same thing. So, but I said your name, so at least you got that. Let's see. Help me help you. Definitely agree with you about Seattle. Went for a week a few years back and had a time of my life. Locals were so great. Yeah, Seattle was cool. It was funny. When I was in Seattle, one of my former students was working for, I think, HelloFresh and was there. And he's like, Professor Wolters. I'm like, my students don't even call me Professor Wolters. And he's like, yeah, no, I was in your class. I'm like, oh, yeah. And then we talked for a while. It was a cool little thing. So we had a good time. Let's see. Sam says, my best friend was raised by a planner tiger mom type who had every hour of the day planned for the trip. Now as an adult, the same friend hates planning and she just sips coffee and people watch mostly. Yeah, that's the thing is if you over plan, it gets too much for people, especially if you're going on a group trip. Some people don't want to plan at all. And they let everyone do their planning themselves. But sometimes you need to have some plans, especially with COVID. You got to have some plans. But doing the over-the-top planning, it's just going to get you frustrated because if one thing throws it off, all the plans get thrown off. So be careful with that. Michelle Barr, good to see you. Yes, I am at my house. This is where I live. That is a picture of my family. That's Iceland, and that is in Versailles. And that is a clock that occasionally is correct. It randomly stops. So I can't really trust any clock in our house. It's like a time warp on our house because the clock by the side of the bed, the clock in the bathroom, the clock right there, the clock on the in the kitchen, the clock that's on the oven, my phone, my computer, and my car all have a different time. So it gets a little frustrating. Yes, thank you to our moderators for helping out today. I appreciate it. Sahil, my buddy. So Sahil, I actually you have become my de facto person in my exams, by the way. So I have Sahil's doing something in the next week's exam. So thank you, moderators, for helping out. Saw so much time. Lots of talking to people. Yeah, Mark Finley, I only trust the clock on my phone. So I do that. And the thing is, we have Sirius XM in our car, which if you're a road tripper like we are, it's awesome. But it's funny because there's a 2-minute time difference between the satellite radio time and my phone time. And it makes me go, So, and Liam doesn't understand why that's like that. I don't know, dude. Oh, let's hit the road, Jack. You should buy a German cuckoo clock. I have a German cuckoo clock that I got in Germany. So we do have one. So don't worry. We do have one. Oh, Obada Ode. Big fan from Amsterdam. Thank you very much. You have an excellent city, excellent country. If you're going to Amsterdam, go explore more of the country. It's well worth it. Well worth going to see more stuff. Ronnie Dove, hop it on when I'm getting ready to hop off. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Sahil, that's funny. The exam just got entertaining. That's right, buddy. That's right. So it looks like you're having some good times traveling, Sahil. I follow Sahil on Instagram, so it's cool to see. Anyway, well, I've been on for about 2 hours now. I'll stay on for a couple more minutes. Just want to say thank you, everybody. I don't know if I'm going to get the mistakes that travelers make to the U.S. done for tomorrow because I've almost had a whole bottle of champagne. Wait. tip like Jocelyn told me. So yeah, so I've had a whole bottle of champagne with my mimosas today. So I tell you what, I will stay until I finish this glass. And don't worry, I'm not driving anywhere today. I will probably sit here and enjoy the boys, and we'll probably play some Mario Kart and some Battlefront, and eat frozen pizza and order pizza for lunch and order pizza for dinner like a good father-son day should be. So, Juju B, what are your 2 favorite cities in Europe? Paris, Rome. For big cities, those are my 2 big ones. For medium-sized towns, Bamberg, Salzburg. For tiny places to visit, I like the Harz Mountains, and I like Amalfi Coast for lots to see in a little space. So the Amalfi Coast is kind of popular though, but there's that. Liz, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Let's see. Hey, yeah, Andre, only the good stuff. So, okay, so we were it's COVID and stuff, and I'm like, we need to clean out stuff. So I cleaned out our pantry, and I didn't realize we had like 6 bottles of Andre. I'm like, we must have gonna have a party with a champagne kind of bubbly wine mixed drink or something. And so I ended up finding like 30 bottles of liquor. I'm like, how the hell was this all in our pantry? We didn't know, because we have a liquor cabinet, and then we have the backup liquor cabinet, and then there was all this, and so I'm like, what the heck? So I'm like, I got to start drinking this stuff because we have so much of it, and God knows when we bought it. Like, I don't remember ever buying this stuff, but there was like 6 bottles. So good stuff. Hey, it works well with the orange juice. It's helped me get my vitamin C, so I feel healthy. Oh, I got my flu shot this week and thought I was going to die because I got so sick from it. But yeah. Yeah, it's cool you all got to join up. It's really nice to see everybody today. Liz, I'm glad to go live. If you want, tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Means to Travel has a live feed from the UK, so you can ask them questions about what it's like. And then also 10 a.m., you can go to Gallivanting Gals. They'll be online 10 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow as well, so you can go chat. You can go chat hopping tomorrow. I will not be live tomorrow. I will probably be recovering from a hangover, but I'll be on there to say hi. So we have that. Yes, Tom Jones, it's Mimosa. It's Mimosas with Mark. Or for my German friends, Mimosas mit Mark. So maybe I'll do a German one day. Who knows? Marianne, I have been to La Coruna and Vigo, and I have been to Tenerife. Santiago is way better than La Coruña or Vigo. If you're going to go, I would say Santiago de Compostela is number 1, then La Coruña, then Vigo. Okay. Canary Islands, don't go during the holiday times because otherwise you're just going to have a bunch of drunk Swedes and Germans and English people. And it's tough to find the Spanish. So just being honest with you. Later, Gabe. Thanks for being here, buddy. Yeah, Joseph, I was surprised too. I'm like, what? Where the hell did this all come from? But there was actually quite a few bottles of Christmas wine, so I was really happy about that because I'm a big Christmas wine kind of person, the Glühwein. So I was like, oh, there's like 8 bottles of that. I'm like, oh, Christmas can come early. So we have, let's see. Austin, I hope you're doing well too, my friend. Oh, look at Sahil throwing out the Dutch. Mimosas Metmach. Nice. Then the Dutch would think I speak Dutch because my name, Mark Wolters, is like John Smith for the Dutch. I remember when I taught in Portugal, I had a bunch of Dutch students. They're like, are you Dutch? I'm like, no. They're like, are you sure? I'm like, pretty sure. I grew up in the U.S. Like, because Mark Wolters is like, how you spell it and everything is like, it's like the most common kind of 2 names you put together. I'm like, well, I guess I'm just a common Dutch dude that came from the U.S. So there's that. Giles, how many languages do you speak? So I have taught in English, Spanish, Portuguese, and German. In the other languages, I just need to brush up and I'll be okay doing that. I can have like intermediate conversations in Italian, and I can be a nice tourist in French and ask some questions in Lithuanian. But I've forgotten pretty much all the Lithuanian. I forgot Russian. I used to know some of that. I used to know some Finnish. And I've forgotten all that because if you don't use it, you lose it. So that's why it's important to always practice your foreign languages. Let's see. No problem to give the shout out, gals. You know we love you. Oh, so we're going to actually, Jocelyn and I are going to be going down to Nashville with the Gallivanting Gals, and we're going to be filming some videos with them. We're going to be doing the don'ts of Nashville. We're going to do a new top sites to see in Nashville on their channel. The don'ts of Nashville will be on my channel. And then on Jocelyn's channel, one of their cousins has a barbecue place and I think they're a professional barbecue competition person. We're going to make some cooking videos too. So they'll be on all the channels. Simply Jocelyn on Jocelyn's channel, all kinds of stuff. So lots of things going on. Donald, let me tell you, I did get sick from the flu shot, and I did, but it was only a day, and then you're fine. It's just your body adjusting to it. And I talked to my buddy who's a nurse. She's like, "Oh, that's good. You got like the shivers and the colds, and then the fever, and then you're okay the next day. That means it's really robust in your system, so you'll be okay." So I'm all for it. Don't worry. So let's see what else. Hal Brenner, you ain't much if you ain't Dutch. Yeah. You don't mean much if you're not Dutch. I had friends that would tell me that. There were international people that lived in the Netherlands. So Marco, we have not been to Botswana. That is actually part of our plan from when we go down to South Africa. One of my really good friends, he's moved down there full time. He's got a South African girl. So if they decide to tie the knot, we'll definitely go down there for the wedding, and we'll do our South Africa tour, and we'll get to Botswana as well. So don't worry about that. So, let's see what else. Joshua, do you like? I don't know who Bill Callahan is. Sorry. Tiernan, have you ever been to Ireland? Yeah, we've been to Ireland a few times. I really enjoy it. Ireland's one of those places when people ask for their first trips from the U.S. to go to Europe. I recommend Ireland quite often because it's an easy tourist destination because the people are used to a lot of tourists. They're used to a lot of American tourists going there. And they're super friendly. It's super fun in Ireland. I mean, people that pull jokes on you all the time, how can you not love the place? I mean, I freaking love it. I'm so sad. We were supposed to go to Ireland and Northern Ireland the beginning of this month. But with COVID, that got canceled. But yeah, I'd love to go back. I think I've been 5 or 6 times. Because my buddy Jeff and I go there for some of our guide trips because it's just a good time. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Finishing off. Kim, have a good day, guys. I'm off to make apple crisp. And you didn't make any for me, Kim. Dang it. And catch some live streams tomorrow. Yeah. So I will see you all on the live streams. Hope I'll be on for the Gallivanting Gals at 10 a.m. Eastern and Means to Travel at 11 Eastern. So I wish you all the best. You all have a great day. And I will see you around. Thanks for stopping by. I promise I will finish this last bit of my vitamin C. And an empty bottle of Andre. See, we're honest. No fancy fake bottle here. We got the real deal. $5.99 bottle of Andre California champagne. There you go. Anyway, I wish you all the best. Thank you all, everybody, for hopping on. Everyone with the super chats. Does make a big difference. I really appreciate it. And all of our subscribers, all of our members, thank you so much for being here. If you want to become a member, go to patreon.com/WoltersWorld or click the button below and the join button to give ideas. If you want to grab some holiday gifts, go to woltersworld.store. We got masks with neck things that make life so much easier. We got the Britain shirt. We got all kinds of fun stuff. But anyway, we wish you all the best. And we will see you all later. Tschüss. Adios. Until next time.